What it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Big Val Opinion back with another live video. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that share button. And most importantly, make sure you sub to the channel. Turn on that post notification bell so that you be notified each and every time that your boy Big Val is going live, man. With that being said, let's get into this intro. Welcome to Big Val Opinion. Moderators, with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. This channel is a negativity-free channel, drama-free channel, and we are here to push the message out. We will not be distracted. So with my permission, any negativity in the chat should be hidden from this channel. Welcome to Big Val Opinion platform.
Lifetime, as far as quick on lifetime, as far as lifetime is concerned, there are real people, real women out here really being abused, really missing. They're really missing. They're really chained up in basements. I've been in here 4 years. I haven't seen one person that was ever chained up in a basement come forward for anything. But I tell you one thing, before Lifetime came out, I was minding my business. I was in the studio. I was working with celebrities. I had tours. But when Lifetime came out, all of that went away. Meaning, before Lifetime came out, I had no charges pending against me. Nobody had went to a radio station or had went to, a police station. It took a year to put together Lifetime. If all of the things they said I did on Lifetime were true, it only take a minute to go to a police station. But when there's a crime committed, you don't go make a movie on it. You go to the police station. Nobody had done that.
What it do, what it do, what it do, what it do. It's your boy Big Val Opinion back with another live video. And I know it probably seemed like it's been forever because it's been forever in a day. But hey, I got a little time today to hop on and let everybody know that everything has been okay. You know, all things work for the good. What's up, Unc? What it do, man?
Nephew Vaughn, good afternoon, brother. Nephew, I'll tell you one thing starting off. If you and I don't have a kindred spirit from the Creator Himself, I don't know what to tell nobody. I knew you was going to come on today for a strong reason. I knew it. I made sure the headset was charged up, standing by, flipping on some of my good positivity content on YouTube, some of the channels I go to. And man, here it is, popped up. I said, I told you, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I yield back.
Oh, yeah, man. I just came on. You know, I guess I call it a state of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna speak on a few different things, you know, not one in particular, you
Right.
know, but
You know, I'm gonna work with you and help you out.
a few
But
different things. So, like I say, man, I want to give a shout out to all the people who support, you know, the platform. especially all of the people that come on the platform and support Lavish Lady, Jeff, Sir Miguel, um, Dean, J Rock, uh, Lil Mac, you know, it's been a while. Nisi Mo, a lot of people, man. Let's say, man, shout out to everyone, a Dream Team platform, JoJo platform, Black CEO. I mean, everybody that's helped support this channel over here and come over and listen to us politic when we do our thing. Um, I appreciate y'all, man. All the emails that I get from subs checking to make sure I'm all right, ask me how I'm doing, my family, man. That really means a lot. So shout out to y'all because without y'all, man, this platform would not be where it's at. So big shout out to y'all for the people who do reach out to make sure I'm good. You know, that mean a lot for me, to see that. And then I do when I get emails from subs, I do respond back. So to let y'all know that, I do get y'all messages, and then I'm very appreciative of the messages as well.
Let me revisit something that you always do, nephew. Um, the introduction after you said what you said and you played Mr. Kelly's voice. Um, I think the our human family, we hear that, and I wonder if we really comprehend really what he's saying. And here's what I mean, and this can segue into whatever our topic gonna be. He said, "I was minding my own business." Key point. I'm gonna revisit that in a moment. I was
Mhm.
I was in the studio working with celebrities. Major key point. You know what I mean? If all that was said about me was true from that document, then it only take a brief moment, pretty much, to go to the authorities and report it to someone. Another key point. But when you don't have a heightened sense of awareness to go above the noise, the naysayers, the chaotic, you know what I mean? You follow me, nephew? The
Oh yeah,
mess. If you don't have a heightened sense of awareness to independently think for yourself, you can get caught in that whirlwind. You know what I mean?
fact.
And whenever it's whatever you just go, oh, this got to be true because that. No, 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 no. A key point. So that means this man whereabouts, how he moved, was noticed, was made aware of. You know what I mean? Everything. There's no way if something like you all say was going on in this person gets there, there's no way you're
Right.
going to tell me no one this. That's no way.
And why would
I,
he volunteer to say, if I did something, y'all go to the police? If I did something,
right.
y'all go to the police. Pretty
That's
much
what I'm
what
talking
he's
about.
saying.
Thinking. That's why I'm talking. We don't think because when you so immersed and wrapped up and you're tied up and you're tangled up in your own deficit, your own hatred, your own pain, your own unforgiveness, resent, whatever that is, that can so messed up your thinking pattern that you can see something that's not even there.
Right.
You can hear something that was
What up,
never
little
stated.
man?
You can hear something that was never stated. And I yield back.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely.
I'm liking that shirt.
Oh yeah, man. I got this one. Yesterday, man. This little
Okay.
pop shirt yesterday.
Wow. Where you picked that up at?
Man, Walmart, man.
For real? Get out of here.
Swear to God. I had to
Wow.
get it.
Wow.
Walmart. I think shirt like $5 at Walmart.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I
I
gotta.
had to get it.
Yeah, I gotta get up one of those. I gotta go get me one. Yeah, I'm about
You
to go
know,
cop those.
had to put on the mics today. You know, just
Ah,
step out a little bit. These are my favorites all the time. You know,
okay, okay.
so
I can't touch it, nephew. I'm gonna
got
give
a
it
little
back.
get up, got a little get up on. Then I got the White Sox
I,
on. You
I,
know,
see, I
it's
see the stunners on. I see you got the stunners on.
yeah. So today, man, we just it's state of the culture. So what up, Lil Mac? You want to come up? Y'all know how we do on state of the culture. That's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, everything. So what I want to start off with.
You follow what I was saying, though, nephew?
Oh, that's why I took that clip, and that's
Hmm.
why I play that clip for a reason.
Hmm.
For hopefully people listen to what he's saying.
I don't think they are, though, nephew. That's the tragedy. I really believe that in the pit of my soul. People hearing that, they not catching the details of what that looks like.
Right.
There's no way any of this mess is so far out of the whole total orbit, man. All you got to do is use your brain. That's all you got to do is think. But you can have that much hatred for someone that someone else deceive you into hating, and can't even tell nobody really why.
Well, you remember
That's
what I
dangerous.
told you? Remember what we
That's
spoke about? Remember what we spoke about a couple months ago? It's like the popular guy in the neighborhood versus the unpopular guy. You know what I'm
right.
saying? The unpopular person, they can commit the same crime. But that
Hmm.
person that's not popular, the neighborhood gonna drag him. They gonna talk about him every time you see him. They gonna fuck with him, mess with him, because they consider him to be a nobody. But it's
Right.
that person that's popular. It seems as if when they do something, it's like, you know, well, they committed the same crime, but we fuck with him, but we don't fuck with him, so we gonna drag him, but we gonna give
Ain't
him
that
a
something?
pass. You
You
know,
see what I'm?
this is the R. Kelly effect. A lot of people feel the way they feel about R. Kelly, and they base this shit off of rumors
Right.
from the 90s. They don't even care about the new recent shit
Right.
because they can see through that it's bullshit, but they still dead set. If you
Yeah.
even debate with these people, they
Yeah.
argument always go back to a Aaliyah in the tape.
And-
None of this
yeah.
new shit.
Right.
What up, Jeff? What's good with it, my brother?
Crux, our
Man,
activist, good man. With the boots on the
big
ground,
five,
man. Man, give us some of your thoughts, man. What's good with
big five, Muse back. Everybody in the chat, peace and blessings. Man, it's good to see y'all and hear y'all brothers in real time, and everybody in the chat as well. I just was chiming in. I just happened to get off work, so I got to catch up. I just saw the link and said, let me tap in and say what's up before
Now we
you
just
know.
got in here.
We just got in here, man. We just putting the food on the table. Just putting the tablecloth down.
Dad, I got you. I got you. From what I'm gathering from what y'all was saying as far as you know, with Kels and other high profile celebrities or personalities or what have you alike, they always have a target on their back. You know what I'm saying? Just by being who they are. So that way, it's always gonna be a biasness when situations like that occur, opposed to other individuals that may not have the same amount of notoriety. And that's unfair. Like when Kills was talking to on the last interview, it shouldn't be a celebrity edition of the
To the
law or the
law. Yeah,
Constitution.
Right.
yeah. That was
And
a
that
good
just
point.
yeah, that was an excellent point he made because it just seems like once you get, villainized in society through the media, they use all these different tools against these high profile personalities. It's easy to sway the media from liking them to loving them or
Mhm.
hating them to not to disliking them. And it's like the way that people fall for it every time. It's scary to see because at any moment they could turn it on and turn it off, and the people fall like cattle. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome everybody coming in. Welcome everybody coming in. That's a big thing about it. I think if the world was able to, if the world had the opportunity, or if I ain't gonna say the world, if 50% of the naysayers took out the time to do the same thing that we did, and that is to investigate, fact check, research, figure out who some of these people are. We, as people that you see on on this platform right now and other platforms, we didn't allow the media to tell us a narrative, and we accepted it and we live with it. We went back and fact checked. We went back and researched. We went back and figured out, hold on, half of these motherfuckers is criminals. Some of these people never did. We did the due diligence to go back and do the groundwork. But you have a great deal of America and people in this world that has got away from doing the groundwork to where the only way these type of reality shows like Love and Hip Hop and all this other shit is even relevant now in the world because people like drama. And nobody, a great deal of people aren't going to do the footwork, as in research, to try and find out what is going on, why could it possibly be going on. They just taking what they're hearing and they using that as the basis of their argument. That's why when it comes to a debate and you get to going back and forth and you say, tell me something outside of what you heard on what you saw on Surviving R. Kelly that this man possibly has done, they have no argument. They can't talk to you no more.
Right.
You say you have, even with people, you think you can have a conversation about this R. Kelly shit with these people. You say, man, tell me something that you didn't hear on Surviving R. Kelly. They can't talk. So you dumbing yourself down, even trying to have a debate with these people, because nine times out of 10, these motherfuckers don't know shit. They want to keep arguing with you what the TV said. You know what I'm saying? You saying, well, then tell me who it is. Now, the TV said that. The TV ain't tell you that Lisa Van Allen had to get drugged back in court by the U.S. Marshals either.
Right.
The TV didn't tell you that the mama was encouraging her daughter to entice, seduce, sit on R. Kelly lap, goddamn, pull your hair over your left eye. The media ain't telling you this. So how could you tell me what the TV said?
Yeah, it's crazy because people, like you said, are so lazy. They don't do any research of their own. They are force-fed information through television. Mm-hmm. So whatever narrative that they want to push, the people just adopt that same narrative, and then they, in turn, they push that narrative when they speak, and that's their talking points. So
when it comes to one thing, though, Jill, when it comes to who they choose to do the research, since it's R. Kelly, they just gonna take it for face value. But we know that it's an R. Kelly thing, because was it the same shit with Bill Cosby? He did not receive none of this type of shit that R. Kelly has been through.
Mm-mm.
Because they didn't want to believe it when it came to Bill, but because it's R. Kelly. And this is one thing I'm trying to understand. And I've been watching interviews of R. Kelly from way back in the early 90s, 2000, through the 90s, through the early 2000s, watching interviews, and people, I don't get, I mean, I guess I mean, this dude would have to be a totally different person for me to believe that this man, they say he's arrogant, he's an asshole. I don't. Most time I see the dude, he playful as fuck.
Right.
9 times out of 10, you hear somebody say something like that, they be jealous of that man. Like Joe, he was sitting there saying that R. Kelly trying to end him his career, but what fucking hits that you got? You only got 1, 2, maybe 2 hits. How can he
That R. Kelly wrote.
basketball your hits? Yeah, like it's a lot of these people, them cats don't defend R. Kelly because they jealous of the man. Just point blank period. He can do stuff that none of them can do it and are capable of. Like he in his own lane, and just think about it, this man been relevant since when he first dropped his first album back in 91, 92. Like he never fell off, and he never disappointed you with a bad album. All the way up, he been relevant all up to the time he got convicted in jail. And a lot of those cats like R&B guys, they jealous of this man. They just simple because these guys in the vicinity of this man. Y'all can at least say, hey, I didn't see that, or I didn't know that. It's like you ain't gotta even say go down right out defend him. Just be like, hey, what they saying? I ain't see that with our raw dude. You know what I'm saying? Just say that. They won't say that. Like it's sad, man. And I know since the last time we talked, I just want to say congratulations on the job, Vi, and all that. And I want to shout out to prayers to our brother D. He got to do a little time. I don't know if he got with y'all about this. I just want to.
No, I hadn't heard from Dean, man, in about 2 months.
Yeah, he had to go in on. I didn't want to. I don't like going on line telling his business all, but I just wanted to let everybody know that prayers out to Dean. He had to go do a little time. I don't think he started yet. He finished started. I just want to say prayers to him and his girlfriend and his 2 daughters. I just want to say that he out here listening. We praying for you, Dean.
Damn, I ain't seen. I mean, when I do come on, I ain't been on but a few times, but I haven't seen Dean or heard from him in it's been about 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, he was telling me on Skyline and me and Sky was live. I think about a month ago. He had caught a gun chase, and he had to go do a little time. I just want to y'all be praying for him, his girlfriend, and his.
Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Dean, man.
Yeah, I don't like getting on there. I don't like getting on there, you know what I'm saying, telling the man business and like that. But I just want everybody to know the man. Praise for him though, man. I want to let everybody know what was going on. Yeah, like some people don't like you give the information out unless they want to give it out themselves. So if Dean listen, I just want to apologize if he didn't want me to touch on that. I just want y'all guys to know if y'all want to aware of it.
Yeah, because I wasn't aware of it, man. I'm glad you let me know. Dean ain't reach out. He ain't send me a message or nothing. I don't mean in case if he called me from another number. Now that's one thing. They could be calling to tell me I want $1 million, man. I've been and missed the fucking call. If your number ain't saved in my phone, I ain't answering that motherfucker.
Right. That's me.
You better leave a voicemail. Let me know who you is.
Hey, Crux, you know how we get out in the shy, boy. We don't play none of that.
Oh yeah, you got all these bill collectors calling. You never know who you calling back.
Scammers, these scammers got
marketing calling you. Man, motherfucker called you from China. I said, who the fuck I know from China? I don't know. I said, what the hell?
Dean
all our phones come from over there, probably.
He probably did, because I remember one day I had a call from Jamaica, man. I was like, I don't know who it could be, but yeah, but we're most definitely gonna be praying for Brother Dean, man. And like I say, I'd rather get caught with it than to get caught without it. But that's price. That's the price you pay when you. You know what I'm saying? Playing that, living in this world we live in, man. You gotta protect yourself. Then you gotta also protect yourself from this system that they put you in. The system that they put you in don't understand that you gotta survive out here in this free world where there's motherfuckers out here every day looking for opportunity, and you just supposed to be a sitting duck.
Right. Let me set up this question. I want to ask Brother Crux from his expertise, and then y'all can walk with him on it. Let me listen to Brother Crux, how I'm going to phrase what I'm going to phrase. It's like a twofold question. One, I know the small percentage, I can't even throw no number out, how the effects of our culture from slavery has done on us. And that's legitimate. And that has its place. And we can't like act like that didn't have an effect and it's still here. So I want to just throw that out there and let that sit in the corner for a minute. However,
Oh,
what is
my
it?
bad.
What is
My bad. Could you repeat that?
yeah. Um, it's got a twofold question. One is about our culture as it relates to our ethnicity. Then the other part of it is like, how do you or what can we do in our space when the ones who are supposed to uphold the standard of the law across the America is the very ones that finesse and twist to their agenda. How do you fight that? You know what I mean? And then you getting a innumerable amount of support from the very culture that you attacking. For the most part, it's happening in other cultures, but for the most part, this particular demographic, what is about our psyche that it don't click, that it hasn't clicked, even from the
I would
millennials
say
going back to the baby boomers.
yes, indeed. Um, I would say we have to first and foremost understand, like you said, what we're dealing with is systematic um, racism, white supremacy that has been implemented in our DNA since the Atlantic slave trade. It's psychological. It's a lot of mental um, enslavement that has had us. Uh, I mean, if we go back to the Willie Lynch theory, where we were implanted and hypnotized with hatred for one another, they used to, have us. Uh, they'll put two men to fight each other to death. I mean, the things that they used to do to us just for an extra butter biscuit on the plantation for symbology, just for next to nothing. And then when you go through all of those extremes, and then you make it to where we are today, I mean, it's just too much to unpack. But you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Right.
Um, I think what we're doing right here on Big Vibes platform is it a perfect example. We have to get with like-minded individuals and create an infrastructure of support for ourselves. So, because we got at the end of the day, you know what I'm
That,
saying? So
that's
we
good.
come together and find a way to build a network that can cultivate and support one another and and branch out, because we know what the extremes that we're facing. We know the systematic uh warfare that we're up against. Um, and if we get with like-minded individuals and build the infrastructure economically, educational wise, even on down to entertainment, and just support one another, I think eventually we will begin to dig ourselves out of a hole, and we will start to ignite the minds of others and enlighten others to join the movement, to
Right.
stand firm. It's not an easy task, but
No,
it's not as hard as it seems. If
right,
you catch my drift.
right. I do. What you think, Lil Mac?
What's that again? Can't quite hear you on what you say.
Get back off what Brother Crux was saying.
Oh, yeah, about the situation with the culture. Yeah, I most definitely agree with Jeff was saying right then and there, though. It's like, as a whole, as a black community, like, we are lost. Like, and we gotta, like he said, we gotta have that conversation amongst, like, great men like ourselves and others, you know what I'm saying, to spread the message. Like guys like Big Vibe, we gotta, you know what I'm saying, support him even more to spread the awareness of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? We gotta wake our people up. Like we've been so, you know what I'm saying, off. Like is we gotta start like look at the root of the problem because like if you dealing with math and algebra, you ain't gonna solve the whole problem if you don't start and look at it from the root of it. Like what caused us to be in this way, and then you can. It's easy a few things you can see. You can go back all the way back to slavery, and we're dealing with the Willie Lynch, you know what I'm saying, syndrome we facing. Then you got the government that's throwing crosses in him, taking the black parents, the black father out the household, and so the mother couldn't get welfare. It's just so much stuff that we we overdo it a lot, but we also still kind of lost. The only thing we didn't do in my eyes is we didn't come together as a people because you never hear although it happens, you never hear too much of white on white crime or Chinese on Chinese crime. It's always black crime. It's like in our neighborhood we all have hatred towards one another. And then, like, we go back to Kels in this situation. How much these men have blessed us with his music and how much he has done so much for the black community. People don't even realize how so much this man has did. You know how many people in our culture that made babies to this man music, and they didn't. It's just and also how many people that got married to this man music. It's like for us to sit there and take a 6-part docuseries for some accusers that we never know. We knew R. Kelly before these accusers, and we just took their word as bond. And then like we gotta believe it. Like that says a lot. Like of why mine as a black community. Like we see something on TV, and we take it as face value. Or these people tell the truth. And then when you got like you got these people out in court, it was a whole different story. And like none of these accusers, you know what I'm saying? Story paying out like what they were saying on Surviving R. Kelly. You had, like he's the big five. They had to drag Lisa Van Allen back in the court just to even say something. Then you got a mother, real, like even if this stuff what she's saying was true, but when we grew up back in the day, you don't ask them to see like what goes on in the household stays in the household. It's like a lot of this stuff like comes to the effect of how we are as black people. And then another thing I want to touch on, I know it's been a while since I've been on the panel. What kind of disappointed me was how Kwame Brown, he kind of backpedaled a little bit. And he always talking about the go along, the get along gang and all that. And I very much appreciate him to give Kells a platform to speak on. But my thing is though, he didn't stand on what he said. You speaking all this, but you gonna go along. It's like when Dr. K question you about what did you defend Kells? Now you kind of backpedal. I ain't like this because I thought that very hypocritical of him. But then I took it that interview Kells with them as a game and a game to me because it opened up to a different platform. He has mentioned I've seen a lot of those free R. Kellers in the chat that they want to use in the support group. And I also want to touch back on what he said though. Well, Kwame made a great point. That the reason that R. Kelly did not, nobody cares because people think he's guilty of what he did back in 2008, but you got to put in mind he was acquitted of that. And my take on that is I agree with what he's saying because surviving R. Kelly turned us as a black people against him, and I feel like that alone. Now I know Kells speaking about the BLP outset, and that what they did was downright wrong. They violated so many, you know what I'm saying, violations of this man's due process with that. And also, I don't think he should have went to trial all on that. Also, this 6-part docu-series because it tainted the jury. I don't care what nobody say. When nobody was not going to go in those courtrooms and be non-biased after they see what they see on that document, I'm just not buying that. And it goes back to, like I said, the thing y'all guys talking about as a people. Like, we got to do better. Like, if you see this man was acquitted of this and you know the allegation that he was facing, right? Okay, don't go by what people say. Don't say, you know what I'm saying? Study, do your research, study the facts and stuff. It's like we see stuff We take it, okay, if the white man said it, it's true. If it's on this big docu-series, it's true. And like, that's another thing we lost. We got to stop believing in the mainstream media, because the same way these people would flip on how they flipped on Charles in the media and tarnish his name, they'll do the same thing to you. And this federal government can care less about you, because they taking our as taxpayer money to bring another black man. Now, you know how much when Charles went to trial, that's our federal taxes that paid for that trial. People don't even know that we paying basically to send the federal government to put an innocent black man in jail. It's like we got to start thinking and educating ourselves on what we be doing, because it common sense to tell you that these accusers are lying. All you got to do is pick up the transcripts and stop being gullible and lazy, and then you'll know what was going on. Not just in the R. Kelly case, but everything in life. Never go off what somebody else said. Know what I'm saying? Like people always say the saying, hear from the horse's mouth, not the horse's butt or the horse's ass. That's the saying. Know what I'm saying? If you see something that you want to know, that's the thing I think people want to know. You gotta fact check and research stuff. Just don't believe something what anybody saying. That's another thing with our people. We gotta be mindful of what we're doing, because we can be bringing our own down and we not even realizing what we're doing just out of the fact that we believe what they was. Man, it's surviving R. Kelly, but I'll yield back.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What up? Shout out to everybody that's coming in. A few days ago, I called in over on JoJo's show, and they was talking about peace, protecting your peace. And we was talking about protecting peace. What do it mean to protect your peace? And I don't know. I had a interesting perspective. Even when you look at R. Kelly, somebody said, "Where was Robert Friend, his gatekeeper?" That's the thing. When you talk about gatekeeper, you talk about somebody who's a part of the industry. When you talk about R. Kelly, some of the things you see him going through at this point in his life is because he didn't want to comply with being a part of this industry, which holds gatekeepers.
Say that. That's
You
very
see,
important.
this is the thing. When you hear Robert speak, Robert still talk about God.
Yep.
See, when you become a part of that gate, when you get inside of those gates, God is not welcome there.
Yep.
When you talk about this industry that drives all this money, this industry that pushes LGBTQ, this industry that pushes worshiping. See, everybody's not for it. Everybody's not with it. We watched the richest black man in this country last year, or earlier this year, go from being worth $11 billion. Nobody know where he got it from. Within 24 hours, they took everything away from this man. But what I was telling JoJo, Sir Miguel, what's up, Unc? He was over the other day when I was speaking about the situation. As far as peace go, your peace. I told JoJo, I said, man, you know what? I say, you know what? I get it. It finally dawned on me what I've been doing wrong in this lifetime. Throughout this life, I've been living it wrong. I've been paying attention to the wrong shit. I said, I'm sitting here watching my enemy, paying attention to my enemy, but it's my friend. It's the one I trust. It's one that I love. The one that's killing me slowly. I said, people understand this. Y'all, everybody in this chat, just listen to what I'm telling y'all. And this shit will make perfect sense, man. Your enemy have more respect for you
Better
than the
say that.
person that you love.
You better say that.
Your enemy
Because
have more respect for you than a person that you trust. One thing about your enemy, when you all know that y'all are enemies, guess what that enemy does? That enemy respect your boundaries.
Yep.
But when you love somebody, when you trust somebody, they don't give a fuck about boundaries.
Yep. They feel they're entitled.
It's a sense of entitlement. And when you
Yep.
talk about R. Kelly,
Yep.
it was the ones that he loved. It was the ones that he trusted. The ones he least expected. That felt as though we don't want you to give us nothing. We want to spend your shit the way we want to spend it. And you don't say shit. We want your position and we want you to be in our position. See, the one thing about the enemy, man, your enemy will save your life probably before people that you love. In a situation. In certain situations, you may look up and see the last person that you thought you would ever see coming to pull your ass out of a wrecked car.
And that's facts. And that's facts. That's facts.
majority of wars have been started by betrayal of a friend.
And this shit with the slavery, right? Like I was telling some, I say this shit. The thing is that we're doing in this world, we're trying to awake people that don't want to wake the fuck up.
Nephew, let that breathe and repeat that slowly for those in the back of the room that landed the bushes. Wow, that's been my core message. And I had to come to grips with that, Sir Miguel. I just had to accept that that's what it is. Some people just don't want to be saved.
We have to be the ones to lead and set the example.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be look, it might be 100 people,
Woo!
but out of 100, it only gonna be 10 of us that's willing to go through the shit.
Man, that piece of grease is hot. Sir Miguel, this piece of grease is hot.
Indeed.
It's only gonna be about 10 of us willing to go through the storm to go see what the fuck is on the other side. But guess what? Once we get to the other side, we cannot reach back and tell those other 90 people what the fuck we went through. They still gotta go through this shit too.
Yeah. And Miguel, that's my challenge in life and where I'm at moving forward. It crushes my spirit. It hurts my heart to see my brother or my sister in pain. When you growing to be the best version of you, I'm gonna set you up, Miguel, and you that's determined to be all that the Creator put inside of you, brother Crust, and you growing and you be becoming mentally healthy and strong. When you turn around and look back, and your eyes are a spiritual awakening, and you see your brother, you see your sister in agony and pain, and they're just totally blind to it, and you can't help them because they don't want you to help them. How do you deal with that? You just can't walk away and sleep good at night like that. How can somebody lay in the bed at night and know this man is innocent of this, and y'all sit back and do nothing? How do you sleep at night? I yield back.
See, I had said this other day. Ask yourself why Jesus only chose 12.
Hmm.
And out of that 12, he had an enemy amongst him
Ah,
who he already knew was going to do the dirt.
mhm.
He
And
didn't
put him.
shun him away. He didn't tell him, go your way. At the
Mhm.
time, he said, do what you have to do.
Woo,
Because he
Spirit,
already knew that his purpose was going to be fulfilled through Judas.
woo, woo.
Say that again, sir, again.
Woo, you just solidified what nephew Vi just got you saying. Woo, Miguel, let that breathe. Woo,
So
something
at
just
the, so, so at the end of the day, no matter how much you try to help some people,
woo,
everybody ain't going to be saved.
Uh-huh.
mm, mm,
Everybody ain't going to make it to the Hall of Fame either.
woo,
Uh-huh.
Everybody's not going to be counted. So
woo,
for those who know the truth, you still got to keep moving because at the end of the day, some people gonna be left behind. I'll say this: when Noah was trying to tell the people, "Hey, y'all better get ready, a storm is coming,"
Yeah.
It's coming.
they kept laughing at him,
It's
but he
coming.
kept building. He kept building. They laughed at him. By that time, it was too late. When that door closed, guess what? God said, guess what? My servant tried to tell you. He tried to warn you, but you didn't listen. So now you're going to drown in your sin. And I'm going to save this little group of people to restart the earth all over again.
Hey,
Glory.
hey, that's when you realize that the goddamn animals was more smarter than the people.
Ooh, come on,
Okay,
nephew.
let me throw another nugget at you. Them very same animals, ask yourself why they don't cross over into the city where things being continuously built. You know why? Because they are part of the earth-given spirit where they know not to cross in the domain of human beings because their assignment is to grow amongst themselves, amongst their own people, or their own amongst their own kind. So they also have a purpose. They know not to roam in certain places.
Again, you're going too deep. You're going too deep, Miguel. You're too deep for us. Woo!
So when you stay in your own domain, you understand your assignment. Is when you get out of your domain, your assignment is lost because you're trying to go somewhere where you don't belong.
That's that purpose. That purpose living. When you purpose driven, right?
There it is.
Even Noah say Noah went back to go see God and said, you know, they laughed. Noah started to stop. He started to get a little weak, you know, because he said, I've been doing this for about 20 days and ain't seen what God tell him. Just keep doing. Just keep telling him. Just keep believing. I'm gonna show you. And this thing with chaos, man, these people sitting back laughing because this man been locked up for the last 4 years or so. They thinking he ain't coming home, man, but they don't keep thinking. Who? I mean, guess when this man say he can make a way out of no way, when this man, when the Bible tell us that when God say I will never leave, nor will I forsake, he's present. Some shit we just have to go through as human beings.
Yeah.
And this is our time to go through this spiritual cleansing that God has for him. God will put you in a place to where because the thing that we do as human beings, we have a thing with not wanting to face certain situations. You know, we want to put shit off until tomorrow. You know, we want to just throw shit to the back of the memory bank and don't deal with it. But the way that God look at us as human beings, we should address each and everything problem we go through each and every day. We shouldn't take a problem from today, which is Saturday, until Sunday.
Right.
Each and every day, we need to make sure when we lay our head down at night that we are clear and free of all things from that day. Until the next day, you wake up refreshed, rejuvenated. You have each and every day is a new day to serve a purpose. But sometimes we tend to run away from certain things, and God will put us in a situation where you sit down right now, you know, in my 30s. When I have my moments, y'all see, I've been away. I've been having my moments. Guess what? I have my moments when I have to sit down and address shit that happened 5 years ago. I have to sit back and address shit that happened 10 years ago. I have to address shit that happened 20 years ago. You know, sometimes when God sits you down, man, you can only run from these problems in your life for so long. And Kels is one of those people. He stayed busy. He stayed in the studio. He stayed playing basketball. He had the cigar lounge. But he got all of this shit going on around him that he's not addressing because he feels as though it's not affecting what he has going on. But in all reality, Kels, you gotta address this shit. Because guess what? Like Sir Miguel said the other day, we was on JoJo channel. People walk all over their bullshit to call yours out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
How
Yeah.
does
And that's
that
what,
work?
yeah.
But when God sits you down, your ass become the student and he's gonna be the teacher. Your chalkboard is gonna come before your eyes, and you're gonna see all this shit that you should have done and should have dealt with a long time ago. But guess what? When Kale get through with this situation he in, he's gonna come back pure.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that call him his brother, sister,
Hmm.
uncle, whatever, he gonna have to realize God done showed you,
Right.
God done told you. Now you have to do the human thing as far as making the right decision to keep this shit away from around you.
Right.
Because some of them same people gonna try to come back around like it's all good. Some of them
Yeah.
same people gonna try to make you feel entitled. They gonna talk about I did this for you when you was gone. I ain't did a damn thing.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
And,
But
and, and
it's
let me
so crazy, man, that we get to this point that we get to right now. And that's why I say, man, it gotta be a state of the culture, because what we just witnessed over the last couple of weeks, and we're gonna segue with this Carly Russell chick. And
Oh
this
yeah.
is the reason why you don't believe our women.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what I want to point out in this situation,
Set this up.
they tell us to they say they come on the news media and say, believe our women.
Yeah.
This child mama and father
Yep.
sit on a press conference
Yep. I saw it. Yep.
upholding
Yep.
the bullshit that
Yep.
their daughter is putting out there, just for the daughter to come back and say it was all a lie. And this is one of the points that we were talking about. I was talking to one of my homeboys. We as parents have to start holding our goddamn children accountable. We as human beings, we have to hold each other accountable. I can't sit here and be taking up for you, and I know that if I, especially when it comes to your kids, we know our children. If you know your child's a liar, why?
Right.
Now, if you know your child wouldn't do nothing like that, then you may have to question certain shit. But from the history of this child, Carly Russell, which I knew was some bullshit when I seen the last name Russell, because I don't know a Russell that's
Ah,
good
ah,
at all.
ah.
But for the mama to sit here and go along with the daughter and still talking about it's still a kidnapper out there, then your daughter, I was over on Black CEO. I say, Black CEO, the best thing this girl can do right now is to come out and just tell the truth. 2-3 days later, she came out and told the truth. All this shit was made up. But you as a mother, you just out here on the news going to bat for your daughter. And come to find out, it wasn't the first time. She just had never called did the police report shit that she did. But she's been doing a lot of other shit before then.
Wow. Yeah.
but you see, brother Big Bob, and I'm gonna say this, and I've said this time and time again. The tension is at an all-time high because everybody wants it.
Woo-wee.
And it's unfortunate that you use the word toddler on the freeway. But I said to myself, that's bullshit. Because I know exactly where that freeway is between Hoover and Vestavia. And the reason why I know that is because when I went to college in Birmingham, the Galleria Mall, which is south of there, that's a busy highway. Ain't no toddler gonna be on that goddamn freeway like that. So I knew that was bullshit from the jump. But it's unfortunate you do a disservice to the people who really get snatched up.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's what we just don't get.
See, so then the news media, like you said earlier, believe all women. Got to be very careful with that as well, because at the end of the day, we all know the news media will edit,
Yep.
shortchange stuff. Why? Because they want to make their money on the back end.
Right.
So if I give you something that's believable, and then later on it comes out not true. I done made my money. Now I just got to go in and kind of clean up the story a little bit,
Right.
and then now I can make this young lady look worse than what she already is for lying. So now I've done my job. So now I can do the next story. But you still won't give attention to another missing young lady who was missing 3 days prior to Miss Carly Russell's situation, but they didn't give no credence or any information about that young lady missing.
Wow. Yeah.
See, if I can get your psyche all riled up into one situation and get you involved in one story, but I got 10 other stories that really mean something. But then when you spend all the resources and money, whether it's the police, time, you wasted all those resources for one individual when you got another 10 or 20 that desperately need your help.
Talk to us. Talk to us.
So at the end of the day, if I can sell you a story and then you don't even fact check the story yourself, then guess what? You don't give a shit about the regular person anyway. All you care about is your money, the time you spent, and the next story that you're going to make headlines with just to see if I can grasp people's attention.
Right. Another thing, Sir Miguel, everybody on here, when have we ever seen a story like that? I mean, I know I'm from a small town in Louisiana. Shit like that this girl did, that shit don't even make the news. It might make the newspaper in the local newspaper.
Right.
Making the news, it seems as if it was publicity all throughout from her to the police department. Everybody was in on the shit.
It seems like when something like that happened, Crux, that and Miguel, you can test this too, based on what you just said. There's always some major coming behind that's been brewing, that's always been in the making. You know what I mean? And I say this about this case with our dear brother. When he came on, and nephew always do his introduction, and then he plays Brother Kelly's voice in that little segment, and he said that he was minding his own business. You know what I mean? That means still walking in integrity. Still, you know what I mean, being on his purpose, on his grind, his call, all of that stuff. I was in the studio. I was working with celebrities. If everything they said about me were true, then it only take a minute just to go to the police station. He said, but you don't go to a docu-series, you know what I mean? You don't go do, you know what I mean? And he said it's right there. Forget about how you feel about the person. Just listen to that. Our minds have been so flooded with these distractions. What my point is that we have lost the common sense in our faculty. That it don't even register. And the powers that be, allegedly, just manipulate that and just play with it. And it's like it's just a game for them. It's like a monopoly game.
Cause how long if you look at that like you and Sir Miguel saying how these people do shit, and then there's something else going on. It's I don't know, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. It just be so much stuff that I be thinking about, like, why was it before Barack Obama, right? It wasn't even a fucking deal or issue about black people making sure that black people get out and vote. But all of a sudden, when Barack Obama run for president, it was the number one priority.
Yeah, you get it.
You want to know why it was the number one priority?
Get my point.
Because it was easy to persuade us to make us think that because a black person was going to be in office, that we was going to have a hand up, and actually we had two hands down.
And it was.
But what I said the other day on JoJo channel, I said a lot of people don't understand how this presidency shit even work. They
Right.
think for the black man get in there, oh the fuck, he finna go put some 28s on the Cadillac.
Shoot. He gonna be sitting in a Vega.
Hey, Crux, follow me here with this. Now, for those you laying in the bushes who may not know this, and I'm not gonna act like I'm a historian, I'm all political, I know the ins and outs, because I don't. So let me just make that clear. I don't. I know a whole lot about nothing and a little bit about something. And I've been building ever since. And I'll let that breathe. And my point is the president of the United States of America, what we all agree is in a position of power. Will we at least agree on that? Right, panel? Okay.
The president don't even have.
Nephew, stop. Nephew, you running ahead of me, nephew. You running ahead of me.
Boy,
Now, the power that surrounds power, based on what nephew already gave y'all a little glimpse of it. The power that surrounds the president is the real power.
yeah, you need that 51.
That's the real power.
And mind you, go ahead, Muse.
Go ahead. You're back. I'm done.
Oh, and mind you, notice how he only needs the 51. That also tells you within that group of those who are voting, there's division amongst them. Because there's so many chiefs that got that they have their own little things that they want to do within their party to serve their so-called constituents,
right?
Who also have power outside of them,
right? Talk to us, Miguel. You got it. You got it. Wait, you got it.
When that power supersedes their power, then they go, well, you know what? I'm not doing such and such unless you do such and such for me. I'm not doing this because guess what? I just gave you 40 billion last year. I'm gonna take that 40 billion and give you 50 million. Now what you gonna do?
Now pin that, Miguel. Now take us from there all the way up. What I asked earlier before you came on the panel with Brother Crux. How can we? What can we, or if anything, to fight against or reestablish something for scenarios like Brother Kelly, Brother Cosby, so on and so forth, when the very system that is deemed to protect and uphold the standard, they themselves, I ain't even got to finish that. I yield back. You picking up what I'm putting down.
Absolutely. If you think about it, absolutely. they gave themselves power in terms of the law. But for the common man, he has no power because he don't understand the law in the terms of the way it's written.
Right.
So if I disguise it to us, don't understand it, then you're not gonna know how to play the game. See, when you're going around that monopoly board and you go past go, guess what's also around the corner? Jail. That jail system is not just also being locked up behind bars, but it's being locked out the system financially where you can't operate to beat them at their game.
Come on.
You got to know the game in order to play the game and understand the game to get over the game. Because everybody not gonna buy a house on Park Avenue.
Some people have that shit on Skid Row.
Bingo.
What your thoughts at, Crux?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I would have to say, we have a culture, right, and a society, and throughout history, anytime that any movement, grassroots movement, that was successful, I believe the Haitian Revolution was the only revolution that defeated racism, white supremacy in a war. But the struggle continues, right? So when you have a society and a culture to combat that, you have to create a counterculture. And in that you had to because it's we have to use the same thing that they used against us against them. We have to use intelligence, group think. We have to create, propaganda, but positive propaganda.
Right.
We have to create an infrastructure that also has some sort of idea of military, has some idea of finance. We study governments,
Which is
to
what the
to
street
to
says.
to coincide within the government structure. So, like we had discussed earlier, these type of platforms are very, very influential and essential because this is the starting point of that. And combined with like-minded individuals, and when we all have talents, we all have parts to play, and we create our own machine to combat the machine. But then eventually, I think that once we start to move, others that we wouldn't imagine would start to join. I mean, just look at what Ice Cube is doing right now.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They came against him. He says, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go on a podcast. I'm gonna go on a podcast spree, and I'm gonna do the same thing that you do to us to you, and I'm gonna expose you." And with my influence with other like-minded individuals and create a counterculture against the bullshit that you put against me.
Yeah, but
And
but our culture has to stand behind people that step up. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of shit could be could be different. But how many of our greats, man, when we talk about, I mean, we go all the way back, man. We go back in history, bro. And
Infiltration.
I have a great deal of appreciation, man, for any of our ancestors who sacrificed. Man, I mean, even in slavery, to sacrifice, because they tried to have something different or try to help someone or, save someone or whatever the situation may be. But what we're looking at now, like I see Marcus say the prison is a system or whatever. Man, the richest thing these people ever did was the fucking mental manipulation that they
Yeah.
put on our people. And they not just our people. And this is another thing that that some may not understand. The shit that they did to us, they did it to their people too.
exactly.
Yep.
But it's
Exactly.
highlighted because of we as black people, we want to be paid for it, which I don't have nothing against. I'm not against reparations or whatever. But the
Right.
way that the people that run this country look at this world is they see rich and they see poor. Poor
Right.
doesn't have a color. Rich
Right.
doesn't have a color.
Right.
It's the amount of money that one have and the least money that the other have. And that's how this country is ran. But when they started out, they understood one thing, man. We can stay rich by mentally enslaving them people. They can remove every goddamn prison in this country. They still gonna be rich because guess what? The mentality is still there.
Yeah.
They have
No.
ownership. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we could audit these people that own all this shit and go back and say, hold on, a black man created it. Oh, it was stolen from him. A black man owned it. It was stolen from him.
Right.
All of the slave trade. That shit was stolen from black folks. It wasn't bought. Them people didn't pay for it. They stole it.
Everything
But
they got.
when we don't have nobody governing the government,
That's my point. That's how I was
Yeah.
making.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. How do you maneuver through that?
Yeah. See
But
that
what
that
But
happened?
right
see,
I'm gonna
there.
tell you what happened. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna yield back. We can get these motherfuckers this country. If people want to see a change as a culture of people, let's just get these motherfuckers this. Y'all can have it. Because without how we are one of the least amount of people in this country, but we make up the greatest amount of money, prison population, everything.
And we built it.
We taught these motherfuckers how to farm, how to grow, how to preserve, and then turn around because I'm watching Jeff. I'm worried about Jeff making 25 cents more than me. When goddamn Tom up there, he making $1 more.
Hmm. Ha,
Hmm.
ha, ha, ha. We don't, ha. Hmm. Yeah.
I'm competing with Jeff when Tom goddamn beating, he making more than me and Jeff put together.
Hmm.
That's what this man, these people. I mean, I hate to watch it. I hate watching it, but I'm glad I'm glad I'm at a point in my life where I can go back and look at this stuff and I can understand it and see like what it really was, man. This shit, what they did mentally. I mean, and now you gotta look at it. They not even doing it no more. It's our own people doing it to each other.
Hmm.
I mean, they put this mental washing on us. It's the shit like cruise control. They started it off
Right.
and
They
now
don't even
it's
got to do. They just
generation after generation.
like you said. They just
And that's the crazy thing. That's what they did with surviving R. Kelly. Like they just
Yeah.
put that on TV and they just took it and ran with it. Like it was Word Bond. Then you go in the courtroom, you got Lisa Van having the lies, Tracy Sampson the lies, Jane Doe number 5, her and her parents lied, Angela Clara out on the damn Dr. She was throwing out rocks the whole time. She and Angela Alice know where their daughter was and they said all their emotions. That's crazy. Just like the Carter Red thing. The whole state, my hometown, Alabama, worried about her comes outside. She lying. That's like go back to what Spin Fire said. You can't believe, you can't believe everything you hear. See, 9 times out of 10, majority of people gonna be lying without you, man.
but I'm gonna add one more thing. I said this some time ago. If you have a group of people that's living in the earth, but you've been in darkness for so long, and then you find a way to go across yours, and you see how they living, what are you gonna do? You gonna convince and lie your way in to get to them. If you go back and look at the movie Apocalypto, and when it gets to the end, and he get to the beach and he see these ships, the very first thing you see is a flag and a cross. And he's looking like, well, damn, where these people come from? They saw an opportunity because they
hmm.
wasn't living that rich life. Because if I'm coming out of darkness and I see light and I see the beauty of it and I see what's on the land and I ain't got it, I'm gonna figure out a way to take it. See, when the Pope in 1492 he said, "Go to any land that's not a Christian nation and take it over." But see, they don't teach you that in history.
Hmm.
But also keep in mind, this land, which we call America, which the Indians call Turtle Island, we were already here.
Yeah.
We already had the richness and the wealth in it. The difference was we opened our arms because we believed what they were telling us, but they flipped the script and caught us off guard,
It's funny you
used
mentioned that.
us amongst each other.
Funny you mentioned that some again because I was looking at some on Instagram. And people don't know it was a black guy. He was the richest man in the world. Was uh he was worth back in like in biblical time. He was like worth like 300 billion. and he had so much gold, he was just giving people. But they don't tell you. They didn't tell you that neither. Like we were the
You talking
richest,
about?
we were the richest set of people on earth before all this
Hmm.
other stuff transpired. There's a lot of history that they leave out. They don't let you know, like all this mathematics and all that math and all that stuff. We invented
Where
it.
you where you think they learned it from? At the
Exactly.
end of the day, what they don't tell you in history also is that we ruled Europe as well. We had light, we had infrastructure, we had canals, we had plumbing, sewer, all of that stuff. But I'm gonna give you another example. China is doing the exact same thing, but they're doing it in a different way. Look what they're doing in Jamaica. They flipping the script.
Yeah.
It only take a few people to change something. Ask yourself, why is the 1% controlling everything? And then ask yourself the 0.5% that's controlling them, who you don't see.
Right.
We
Yeah.
know everybody not we know everybody not gonna be able to we know throughout history and through time there's always been rich and poor. The so-called middle class is really an illusion. It never really was one. Rich,
Right.
poor, period.
It's rich or poor. It's always been about rich, and that's. I mean, I hope they don't shut my channel down. I will tell y'all this. I'm not gonna say it.
You got it. You don't got it.
Go and look up what was going on around the time that the people set off to sail on the Titanic. What was they trying to do during the time of the Titanic, and who was on that ship when it sank? Gonna fuck your head up. I promise you.
Yep.
That's how these people came into power that's running this country right now. All of these tragic accidents, man. Look at the amount of still we hadn't heard nothing else about that MH777 that missed an airplane, right? Go look up the
Look at the people
architects and all type of people that was on that plane.
They ain't gonna tell you that one.
What they did, they
top
take
infrastructure people in this country.
I'm gonna give you another one. Big Bye. Ambassador Ron Brown, plane crash. If the plane crashed, why he had a bullet wound to the head?
Man,
he was on to something.
Man,
matter of fact, he worked for Bill Clinton. Let that sink in.
The people that run this, the people that oversee the operations of this country, man.
Boy,
like the middle class shit never existed.
It was an illusion to make you think that you were going to be sort of well off, but you actually wasn't.
Not only that, you can go off and study into like the true definition of the Black Nation Islam when it comes down to it, and you know why Elijah wanted to shut Malcolm down. A white man down there in Dallas was paying him to keep black people separated. Malcolm was everybody was talking about didn't want to work with Dr. King. Elijah Muhammad shut that down because his paymaster told him to. Just imagine if the Nation of Islam was back in the civil rights movement. Man, we'll have everything right about now because the nation. One thing about the nation, when it comes to Farrakhan and all those guys, they are very structured in how they do stuff. See, if the civil rights would have had that structure that what Elijah Muhammad had, well, they would have been unstoppable. But it was this guy in Dallas.
What you call too though. A lot of that goes to Chicago with the corruption in Chicago. In Chicago, it was the federal government in Chicago who tried to turn. You had people like Unc and Jeff, they probably know some. Y'all probably didn't heard this. Jeff Ford, they was the Black Keystone Rangers back then. Jeff Ford, those guys had a lot of control in Chicago.
Right.
Also, you had Larry Hoover. Those
Black
guys
Panthers
had a lot of control. But why did the government try to make Jeff Ford and his people go against Fred Hampton and his people? These people are I'm telling you, the people that sit high in these high places, they know what this picture would look like if we were to ever come together. But what they did was they created shit that they knew. They created a condition, which was slavery. They put us in it, and then next thing you know, they came with a treat called freedom.
Yeah, you go
with that treat called freedom, we're gonna give you something. We're gonna allow you to have money. We're gonna allow you to have a vehicle. We're gonna allow you to have a home. So now, if it came down to a movement when black people had to stand together, you got black people literally not finna give up their home. They not finna give up their car. They not finna give up their money to go out and support a cause. Because they feel as though they have made it. But at some point, I feel, whether I'm here to see it or not, man, there's gonna come a time where we as black people gonna have to come together and stand the fuck up. Because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Whether we around to see it when it happens, but one day black people are gonna take back control of this country, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
Right, I seen a white lady. She was on YouTube a while back. I find that video I shared with y'all. She said that black people can rule the world only if they come together and stick together. But she said we so lost as a culture that we can't even see that we all this really belong to us. The white man don't have no power over nothing. We really have the power, but we've been so blinded to the fact that we being portrayed by our own people and we all the stuff that we endure that we can't see that we are the strongest alpha males on this earth.
Hey,
a white person said
you about to go to war. I see hold on, nigga. Man, you owe me $20, man. Where my money at, man? Niggas shooting at us and everything. We supposed to be going to war now.
You turn around, put the damn gun. Yeah, you put the gun on. Yeah. Hey, I ain't doing that when I think you get my $20. I ain't moving.
They shoot speeders and all type of shit, dropping bombs. Man, put that nigga, something get owe me $50, man. Man, these people trying to kill us, man.
Hey.
Man, I seen it. Hey, every time I watch that movie, Barbershop, when Anthony Anderson, boy had the ATM machine.
Oh, yeah.
Up to the hotel room.
Yeah.
This nigga dropped an ATM machine that they didn't know it didn't have no money in it. But you got $60,000 in the ATM machine. You'd have dropped it to go chase a nigga for $5.
Hey, man. Hey. I said, man.
Man,
you got 60 grand in the ATM machine. You done went chase the nigga for $5.
When you say that Willie Lynch is so sophisticated, man. It's so sophisticated to the point where, it's the trickle down effect throughout the generations. And like, Vi was just touching on, Chicago, and not to dive off too far off into that, but it's like when those organizations were structured, it was structured for, as you said, Vi, earlier, for the government to be governed, like to patrol like to keep the police in check in the neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And people
I'm
need
old
to
enough to
understand, I don't
remember.
want to cut you out, Jeff. You couldn't
Uh-huh.
be a ranger if you didn't have a fucking high school education. Jeff Ford, he talked about
Exactly.
it. You had to go to school. They wasn't helping your mama pay no bills if your ass wasn't in school. You couldn't skip school and hang out with the fella. I mean, it was structured shit.
So now look at that,
Yeah, it was laws and policies that had to be adhered to.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Crux and Miguel.
Yes, sir.
What happens when you attack that and remove that? Do you have what you have today?
You got what you get today.
You got what you get today.
Yeah, now you got. They knew they got Jeff Fort locked up so deep in the mountain somewhere. He was talking to Muslim nation leaders and connecting over in other countries and continents. Like it was very powerful. Like the movement that they had was the government was so fearful of the unification.
Man, they were so scared of the shit they was paying.
And I can take y'all back to Malcolm X too. Malcolm X was that's another reason they wanted him assassinated. He was connected to other people in Africa and over there across the just Mr. Malcolm. He put those guys over there to tell them, hey, you need to take this civil rights and what these people, like Dr. King and Martin Luther King asked for, how you gonna get civil rights when you ain't got you trying to goddamn go into a building and some people don't want you in.
You breaking up.
Just look at Tulsa.
Walking and moving around, but you going in and out.
Yeah, you going in and out.
Just look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street. You know, that community, they didn't need the dominant society for anything. They had their own grocery stores. They had their own airports. They had their own clothing stores, their agriculture. They grew their own food. They didn't need. They were totally independent.
But did you know it was 17? I think it was 13 or 17 other Black Wall Streets that existed outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
it was one in Florida.
That's just the one that got bombed. The United States Army bombed Tulsa, Oklahoma.
And mind you, it was plenty of them.
Legal, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It was plenty of them across. It was plenty of them across the whole damn.
Yeah. Anytime that. Yeah, because post-slavery, you know, once after that, we the ones that knew we did everything. So we knew how to build communities and neighborhoods and our own infrastructure. But see, it has to be so. The only thing that was lacking from that, and that ties into what I was saying earlier as far as a collective. It don't have to get everybody, but you know, Tupac even said, like, we need our own political party. We need our own political party. Like if we sit down and craft a list of demands, if you want the black vote as a collective, as a candidate, you have to meet these demands for our vote. Tupac was on to something when he said that.
He broke it down and he said it like people don't know, like we control.
See, I got the Pac shirt on.
Oh yeah, you see, I'm parked out today, man.
Pac said that we control the polls because if I'm selling 6 million records and Snoop selling 4 million records right there, that's who we should be reaching out to get these people to hold their votes on who to vote for. He broke that down.
That's why I was going look back, and he was getting the MC Hammer fans as well.
And
Tretch. See, yeah.
But see, not only that, and I'll go back to even what Dr. Claude Anderson said. He said the exact same thing y'all talking about.
Oh yeah.
He said that years ago, but nobody was listening to him. I would go watch him at Fred Price's church when he would talk about powernomics and coming up with a plan.
Oh wow.
If you go get his powernomics book, the very same structure, people in the Asian community use it, the Mexican community use it, white folks use it, Latin Americans use it, and then you go, well, goddamn, how are these folks getting all these buildings and all this other kind of shit? Because they come up with a plan and say, guess what? And here's my demands, X, Y, Z. He puts it in his book, man. Everything is right there. That's why I always tell people there is a solution to everything. The only time it's a problem is when you don't want to use a solution that's in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you have to agree with everything, but you got to get a starting point somewhere.
Right.
I'm still sitting there looking like, what the hell was we fighting to go eat in a fucking restaurant that eat from some motherfuckers that don't even put season on their food?
All right. This is what I was just saying, bro. Why we trying to get civil rights?
What Martin said on Life, how much you gonna take to turn the white on the pie?
Yeah. See? And look, and all we did was, how much is it gonna cost me to drink out the same water fountain that you got?
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
So if you go back,
desegregation was the worst thing ever happened to black people, man.
Go back to the speech the night before Martin Luther King died. What did he say?
He failed his people.
And he said what? I may have put my people burning exactly.
Burning bill.
Because if you go back to the 1940s and 1950s,
wow.
And you can and matter of fact, this was a couple years ago when I went to go see my grandmother before she passed away. I went to the Civil Rights Museum. You can go and look at all the pictures where they had the Grays and the black baseball team. You know who was mostly sitting in the stands? White folks. When we had our own restaurants, it was white folks coming to buy the collard greens, the chicken wings, and all this other kind of shit. They were coming to buy our shit.
Yeah.
They were buying from us.
They cook their greens, they just put water on them bitches and cut it on the pot.
Exactly.
Ain't no ham bone in there. Ain't no fat meat in there.
No hot roast or none of that. No boiling meat or none of that shit.
Hey, nephew, they ain't got no smoked turkey tails in there?
No, they ain't got no smoked turkey tails. I'm telling you, I done seen it before.
Hey, Chris, I year back. I don't want to start nothing.
No,
right.
Honestly, my dad had a white friend.
They ain't got that. What is that bay season? They ain't got none of that in there.
They ain't got no bay leaves up in there.
Right.
They go get the meat straight from the stove and go light up the goddamn grill. Don't even clean the meat off or nothing. Just put it on the grill. You know, I'm good, man. I just ate before I came over. They
ain't got none of that Old Bay seasoning.
Man.
They
put salt and pepper on their meat.
Hey,
they ain't got no garlic powder, no onion powder on there.
No slap your mama or nothing.
In all fairness, I know a lot of us do on the, but probably not as me. But I really eat really healthy. So in all fairness, you can still have your food seasoned good, where you don't have to be concerned about no medical, issues. You know what I mean? But you got to know how to do it. You got to do that.
Exactly.
I mean? That's why they got that. What's that? The avocado oil is very good to cook in. The grapeseed oil is very good to cook in, and the olive oil. But the avocado oil, I believe, is the best because you can heat that up to like 500 degrees without it burning, and that's good healthy. That's good healthy fat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there's some things you can do, and you got to stay. We really got to stay away from black pepper, and you can use white pepper because black pepper has been linked to dementia. So what some people can do is take the papaya, black seed in the papaya, and you can crush those up, and that can be your black pepper.
Black pepper. Yeah, that
Yeah.
papaya
Oh, what?
got so
I
many.
know a little something. I know a little
Okay,
something.
okay.
Yes,
Papaya
sir.
got so
I'm
many
picking up what
nutrients
you
in
putting
it.
down.
Hey, but look, I'm gonna ask y'all this, man. I'm gonna ask y'all this. Cause I ain't got a long time left, but why do you think the government want to step in along with Judge Lennon Weber to block Darryl McDavid from going to visit R. Kelly?
I was gonna ask that too.
Well,
Why do they have an interest? Why do they have an interest in it?
Can I get a piece of that one?
Oh man, J Rock, what up, J Rock?
Right
What up,
on
J
yeah,
Rock?
J-Rock.
Let J
Hello, Jay.
Rock take, man.
What's
Bless you,
going
J
on,
Rock.
panel? What's going on,
Hope
Jeff,
everything is
Miguel,
well.
Lil Mac, Muse?
You
What
got it,
up,
J
J
Rock.
Rock?
Go ahead,
Okay,
man. I want to hear y'all opinions on that shit.
Walk us
but,
through it,
but
J
you
Rock.
know what? Before I address anything, I want to say thank you to Big Bob once again, but also I want to say thank you to Big Bob because I got that package that was sent to me.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Let's
So,
shout
I
out to
really
Lavish
appreciate
Lady, man.
that.
I got that. I
Shout
got
out
that.
Lavish Lady, man. Everybody that didn't get a package, I'm not sure if she got y'all addresses. She said that she need a few more addresses from some other people, but you see, I got the glasses on right now. You feel me? I'm over here. I walk out the door looking like goddamn. I'm finna go get on a motorcycle or something.
Uh,
I walk out the door like I'm about to go get on a motorcycle.
hey,
So,
hey, Miguel, I got my
Yes, sir.
package in the mail, and them I love, man. That's why I've been on glasses, my caps and things like that. I said, man, I'm gonna wear them glasses, put that cap on my B day in September,
Oh,
man.
yeah. Most
Yes,
definitely, brother. When I got mine, I was like, yes, indeed. This is what I'm talking about.
yes,
And
sir.
then that
so
notepad that was sit up in there, that notepad looked so good, I almost didn't want to write into it, bro. For real.
Right, me neither. Hey, J Rock, you better get out of my head.
yeah, man. But shout out to Lavish Lady, man. She put that together. She put it all together, and there's an appreciation for the
Yes,
fellas that come on the platform, man. Like I tell her, she do a lot over here behind the scenes, and she always thinking about including everybody, making sure everybody uh understand. We appreciate what y'all do by coming over on the platform, hanging out, um, having
sir.
these conversations. But we ain't gonna but I'm gonna yield back so J Rock can get into his opinions right now, man. Shout out to A Child. Shout out to everybody that's coming to chat. Ashley, everybody. A Child, hold on. You're not a moderator. I gotta go. I'm gonna go fix that right now. All right, y'all. Go ahead, J Rock.
Well,
That membership.
well, I believe one of the main reasons why is because keep in mind, Darryl McDavid has had his own legal cases, so the government been trying to talk with him. So Darryl McDavid got some key information that the government has shared with him. And I believe they're scared that if he shares that same information to R. Kelly, it's going to open up a whole can of worms that the government can't close. Because I know that because we can go back because I caught a little bit of some of the stuff that y'all been saying in regards to our history and everything been going on. But one of the most common denominators has always been used as far as black folks has always been divide and conquer.
Right.
So I believe that the government told some information to Darryl McDavid that they didn't want R. Kelly to know about. And I think they're afraid that if Darryl McDavid goes up there and talk with R. Kelly, that he's going to divulge that information to him. And when Bon Jean get a hold to it, that's all she wrote.
That's
See,
very.
I got a question for you, J. Rock, just to play devil's advocate with that, because I thought about that as well. Can't he just talk directly to Kel's attorney to get, whatever message he want to get across?
That would be the common sense approach to me. I don't believe so. Because it was funny that Jennifer Bon Jean, I saw reports that Bon Jean had stepped in on the interference.
Right. I saw that, folks. Yeah.
So
with my
point,
yeah, but they deny it, and little do they want to. You know, Bo Bridley ate their ass up. Jennifer, she just did cleanup work. Bo Bridley ate their ass up.
Was see Big Vibe? Bo Brenny is the one who actually was the one who was setting up, trying to get the whole visitation with R. Kelly for McDavid.
Right.
The problem was the warden and the federal government, with a warden over there, denied it. So the judge said he wasn't going to interfere with it because he has no control over what they do.
Well, why would that's another point. Why would the warden have an interest in Darren McDavid is not a criminal. He don't have a criminal background or nothing. Right. So why is the warden stepping in, intervening in something that has nothing to do with him whatsoever, unless he done got a message from somebody? Why are they watching his visitation? Why is his visitation shit so much more looked at
people
than everybody else's?
People don't want to look at it.
Well, you got to keep in mind too that when it comes to the federal government, especially when it comes to these prisons and the federal bureau of prisons, they can say pretty much what they want to say in terms of who's in and who's out.
Yeah, I totally get that part, but there's only one qualification that will block you from being accepted. That is if you are a convicted felon yourself.
Facts.
So if you're not a convicted felon yourself, on what criteria do you have for them to deny you other than it's purposely being done?
Right. So you know what? So here's a question to ask yourself. What benefit is the warden getting from housing R. Kelly? And if Daryl McDavid start leaking that information, which would speed up his release, especially since this appeal is on deck, what benefit is he going to lose by R. Kelly getting out?
Good question.
See, it's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this, because when you look up and say, well, then, you know, y'all only law is, you know, y'all don't say, oh, we was on a case if you was on a case with somebody, but you were found not guilty. You and this person both was found not guilty on the part of his case where y'all went to trial about. So this man has no criminal background. So if Bo Bridley go and apply to go and see R. Kelly, they gonna deny that too?
Hey, you never know.
But what I'm saying is, I feel as though there's an assertive effort by the government to keep people from like McDavid, Bo Bridley, and anybody else. But the thing is, you don't want him talking to R. Kelly, but he's out in the free world where he can go and talk to Jennifer Bonjean, which only means if he went to get on the visitation list, I'm sure that they didn't already spoke prior to him going to do that. I believe he have talked to Jennifer. That's just my opinion. I believe Jennifer told him that is a good idea. You know, she gave him the okay. You know, they have probably all four of them talk. Bo, Jennifer, McDavid, Kells, and you know, the man he want to see somebody. You move the man away from fucking Chicago all the way to goddamn Carolina, man. The man want to see somebody. How you see his friends don't give a fuck about him. So you know, I don't know if they've been to see the man or not, but if they like Conundrum say, when we saw this one man enterprise in New York, he want to see what are statements from all these people that they interviewed, who they gave immunity to.
Right.
And I got a question for y'all. Do you think they would have a case if they didn't give immunity? Or would they pursue charges on R. Kelly if they couldn't give out immunity?
They would have had to have all those people in there that they said they interviewed, the bodyguard, the managers, you know, all type of people. Like, and I'll talk to Q Nundrum and try to get an understanding. Q said, the only way that they could do this if to make him the leader of the enterprise, they had to have some cooperation from people saying that he was the boss.
Right.
That's the
I,
only way.
you know, I totally believe that Daryl McDavid got some information as far as the governmental strategy against R. Kelly, and I think that's going to be crucial. And they're blocking it because if he start talking to R. Kelly about it, it's going to be a wrap.
Mm-hmm. And then also they probably looking at the financial help that R. Kelly will gain from it, from McDavid, because Jennifer did speak about their ordeal with McDavid getting the restaurant, and R. Kelly was supposed to be part owner, but the contract don't say that. It's a lot of different things they looking at, and they really don't want nobody to deal with the man, for the most part. But
Just bring
for the warden, though, it was just crazy for the warden to just, deny it, even though we know he runs the prison. But y'all deny that shit, but y'all don't, get the man no medical treatment. All this, the man still talking like he going through hell inside him.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that on no. Yeah, I wouldn't put that
It sucks, man. It sucks to
The
be in
one,
jail right now, man.
the ones that innocent of the charges that they face catch the most hell than the ones that actually guilty.
on. Yeah,
That's the thing. I mean, it seems like this man is being held on a whole different level.
yes,
They might well should have sent him to the fucking ADX somewhere. If you gonna do this shit,
yeah.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
now
Yeah, it is
The
superior.
know that their time is up though. That's why they doing all this shit, trying to keep these people from visiting him, won't give him information to Officer A and all this shit. Their time is running. They trying to do every little thing they can to block him from coming home, but he
Right.
coming home. Because if he's so gifted what they accuse him of, why they going for this list? Why they don't want Darren McDavid there? That don't even make no damn sense. He
I
just want
wonder
to
how
visit.
far they gonna push that damn oral argument out to.
Yeah,
If they
yeah,
gonna make that right away, or they gonna make that shit last a whole nother year. It's a shit show, man. I'm sick of it, bro. Because at this point, like the shit that they doing, and the shit that just happened with this warden just denying the shit, then they file a motion now. Lennon Weber, you don't want to get in it, but you got your ass involved in this case, right? You got in between when and fat ass file a motion to not take the stand. You
right.
allowed that shit to happen. You
It's
allowed
that
him
something.
to not have to testify. So why
That's
you
something.
in now?
Speaking of
And
which,
then another thing, can I say on this real quick? And I'll shut up. Why would Leonard Weber allow Jane don't know one to keep witness of the case to come in and she could just say she was on tape and then they didn't bring nobody, they denied Jennifer let anybody come in authenticate that tape. And then on the other hand, you didn't let Brittany come in and testify. Like, what type of shit is that? Like, these people playing they rules by their own way. They playing rules their own game. They're like they ain't going by law. You got the federal government right. Got this young lady up in this case, and y'all say, okay, we ain't gonna let her come in. Then you got Jim Derrick Adams, a key component in all this shit was going on with Sparkle. Even Change your number one brought up that Sparkle gave Derrick Adams tape. But judge allowed him not to come in and testify. You see the game that they play.
Yeah, Leonard Weber, he tried to act like he not really, for the government, but at the same time, just little shit that he do, you can tell he's, he has a little bit of biasness in him, but he tried to make it seem like he's being fair. You didn't give Roshonda restitution because she lied.
mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why she got denied restitution. Because if she wouldn't have lied, I bet she would have got it. And when I mean she lied when Jennifer asked her about the restitution, and she said she didn't know. So when she said she didn't know, and Jennifer brought that shit back up, and that she had already started putting a restitution package together way before the trial even started. That's what Leonard Webber didn't have no choice but to deny that shit.
And not only that, Big Vibe, but it's funny that if you knew you was on the tape, why would you need to see a still photo and say that's you if you knew what you did supposedly?
My point exactly, man. And how could, and if you knew that was you, that mean you need to go to jail. You lied 2 or 3 times to a grand jury under oath and denied it was you.
But to this very day, I'll say it again, I don't believe it was her.
Yeah, we know it wasn't her. We know
who
it was. We know who it was.
It was her because if it was her, why they had to show her still shot? Like, you should know off top. You ain't have to show me nothing to know what I did.
How the tapes get in there if they admit that the tapes were altered and manipulated. They allowed this Homeland Security man to splice and dice these 3 tapes and put together one slideshow. That's altering evidence. Evidence supposed to be submitted into its original form. And if it's anything outside of the original form, then it's no good.
Right.
I think we'll get back to you. Have you ever watched that pop movie called Game Related?
Yeah.
Joe Pesci. That's like them when they kept going and taking their gun out the case, and they did the 38 Magnum, put the other guy away, but they had to go back and get the other gun for the same other case. They messed up because they were using the same damn gun. And that kind of mind me, like, you can't go in the case and tamper with, like Big Boss said, tamper with evidence. Like, you just can't do that. Like, you need to, like, the forensics on the same gun.
From the inception of the trial. You remember they said they was gonna take the tape. They went from a tape to it being a DVD. They were gonna take it from a DVD and put it on a flash drive. You can't do that.
Right.
And not only that, we know that this tape came from Michael Arenado because prior to it, none of these people saying, give me that 14-year-old P on the tape. And then you got the government witness, Keith Burrows, who testified, said that when he saw the tape, he saw 2 consenting adults having a threesome with R. Kelly. So, and then the whole thing, Lisa Van Allen, so-called person that was on this tape, Jane Doe #1, she testified she never even had a threesome with this young lady. She's sitting there saying that, so she lied. And then this young lady is the criminal mastermind of all this, Lisa Van Allen, because you were taking the tape across state line. R. Kelly, I don't understand how they tried to charge him with that because he wasn't aware of where the tape was going. They're trying to say he get it back, but y'all they looking at the fact that they was just starting this man off a damn tape that even had no money.
What that sound like, though, little man? What they got Mike Tyson for? 30 years for going to get his own shit back, right?
Right.
You mean O.J. Simpson?
OJ. Yeah, OJ. They got OJ for 30 years for going to get his own shit back. Same shit they want to charge our Kels for going to buy his tapes back with his wife on. But she's sitting her goof ass around here. I ain't gonna really say too much about her. She's a hot mess right now. Want to be relevant. Still want to hold on to the man's name and talking about, it's her kids last night. What your kids last night got to do with your folk ass?
Yeah, I'm hoping he able to do something to cross with that man. Cause I'm ready.
I just put a link in the private chat. Just so you know.
I ain't got no respect for no one like that.
And let me say one last thing before I get off of here. Remember what see that's what a lot of people don't realize. Back in 2008, what the judge say about that tape? Rotten Tomato. See, the media won't talk about that. Right. And the people who was actually sitting in court hearing it, they not saying nothing either, because we already knew at that time that there was something wrong with that tape then. So you know damn well if you got the original tape from the state's attorney's office and turn it over to the Fed, it should be the same thing with the same information on it.
Yeah, but why was the tape missing from evidence all of a sudden in 2019? This tape went missing from evidence. The original tape. Tape number 4 never showed up to the court.
And to piggyback off what Sir Miguel was just saying, like back in 2008, they were saying that tape was the Rotten Tomato. Okay, people not even looking at the fact that R. Kelly, once R. Kelly was acquitted, by the way, they didn't have no case because off there, right off the man 8 months, he didn't back to the team. Tomatoes, Sam, his lawyer came out and did the interview saying that the tape on the they couldn't prove that was R. Kelly on the tape because they had different. The tape was altered. They had guys on there with moles. The moles kept moving. And then we come to 2019, you got Michael Avenatti saying that the young lady said she was 14 and the mole matched her. So they let you know that this nigga tampered with the damn other tape to make it fit his description of how he wanted the tape to be. Because back in 2008, you didn't have sound in it. You did the mole on the back didn't match R. Kelly. R. Kelly lawyer came out and said that, and Michael Avenatti studied what he said and used everything he could to refashion a tape that Charles Freeman gave him so they can get secure conviction. I don't think what's his name, Michael Avenatti at first was trying to get R. Kelly convicted. He was trying to restore R. Kelly. That's my opinion. It didn't work. So he went to talk to Ken
Man
Fox.
ain't had no damn money anyway. He only had $300,000. What are you gonna get? Well, he probably didn't know that anyway. He probably know R. Kelly didn't have no money like talking about. He probably thought he was gonna get some millions or something. But the last thing we're gonna speak on before we get off of here is motherfucking Keefy D. I know Unc got something to say. I know Sir Miguel got something to say. I know Jeff got something to say.
Keefy
D then talk himself into a world of motherfucking trouble.
I give my time, Brother Crux.
You know what? I'm gonna be perfectly honest with y'all. I haven't really even been following that, but from what I know, he kind of like, from what I've been hearing, he's kind of like admitting something, but then he's stopping. It's like you in interrogation and you starting to snitch, but then you decide, let me stop. Like you're not really snitching. You know what I'm saying? Like one of them type of deals.
He did the Terrence. He did what he did was similar to what Terrence Gangster William did.
Birdman, bro.
You know, he called himself solving a case, you know, to get out of prison by saying that Lance, his nephew, was the one who killed Tupac. But from the details, that they say the way that he detailed it, and then he said that the one that they jumped on in the hotel or whatever, he tried to say he the one did it, but then he come back and say they try to give him the gun, but he wouldn't take the gun. He didn't want to shoot him. So how the fuck did he get shot?
Right. And then make sense. Okay, Keefy D said in the interview that he didn't want to shoot Pop. So he passed the gun around until it ended up in Orlando Anderson's hand. But if Tupac and them in a small 750 BMW, and y'all in a goddamn long body goddamn Cadillac, and y'all know how wide those Cadillacs wheels is. How the hell Orlando Anderson grabbed the gun in the back seat, reach over another guy, and aim in and shoot Tupac's shoe? His stories don't make sense, and then every time he go on the interview, he do a different story, and then he ends up contradicting himself. That man gonna talk himself into a fucking jail cell. That's what he gonna do.
Orlando Anderson was too young, you know, for the way that the gang shit, you know, how they were saying it, you know, with him being as young as he wasn't being a part of a gang like that. They have designated hitters for shit to go on like that. And Keefy D was a hitter, you know. So why would Orlando get the gun when the hitter is in the car with them?
Good point.
And Orlando is the nephew. Keefy D is the muscle. You see what I'm saying? They went and got Keefy D. Orlando is your nephew. So your nephew come and tell you these niggas just stumped me out. You ain't seeing nothing but red.
Right.
So then he did some shit by trying to put it off on his nephew because his nephew is dead. But they say, no, you ain't finna get away with this because you talking too much. You done said he done got out and said too much in these interviews, and now they coming back investigating his ass again. And they say if that man still had the bullets from that gun from the night that he did that, man, like they trying to say like he been holding on to the shit like it was a trophy or something.
Let me say this. Let me say this. This is one piece that people are not getting, and I don't think it's a coincidence that this bodyguard got killed. And I'm not talking about Brother Frank. This man said himself he was not relinquishing his gun because it didn't belong to right security.
Hey, you talking about Michael Warren?
Thank you. Let Matt walk with me. It was his own gun. It was his own personal gun. He wasn't relinquishing nothing. So he was the only one that had one. So they specifically, hear me, sent him to 662. They didn't want him nowhere around where Pac was. It was a reason for that. Even though him and Pac didn't even get down like that. He ain't really like that, but he did his job and respected his job and Pac like that. He admits it in the interview. And no disrespect to the Pac. He just said it like it is. He said himself.
Michael Moore was an FBI agent that was
over the radio. He heard over the radio. Got him. And someone said, don't say nothing else on the radio. And he said, and that voice, he said, was not a staff member of Right Security.
Mm-hmm.
What's my point I'm making? I think that Orlando stuff, I'm just telling you, and I'm gonna stand on this until there's no more breath in my lungs. That was all deflection, bro. That was a professional hit. That was a professional hit. And I know you got these guys to do their stuff. No, man.
I totally agree.
Well trained precision.
Where did the hit come from?
Precision. There we go with that.
Yeah, because your typical game banging related shooting, it's not gonna be that precise like Muse said.
Come on, Crux. Come on, Crux. You ain't got to be out here in these streets for nothing, man. Come on, bro.
I always thought it was more to that, with Pac. You know what I'm saying? There's some
y'all got to realize that
it could be possible the Biggie hit was a cover up for the Tupac hit.
Let me say this part as well. Pac was on, I believe, Sway. He believes on Sway. And Pac revealed that they had a meeting. And Crux can help me better with the terminology because I'm not going to get it right because I'm not that well versed in it. But Pac had a meeting. He had to sit down with major people, major cities. You know what I mean? That was about that life. That was really had like that. And they was in agreement for him to lead out, not on no gang stuff like that. It was the direction they wanted to take. The ideas that Pac was laying out. Pac was on a whole nother level, bro, than what he was doing. The government was watching him, bro. They was watching him.
They definitely was.
It wasn't because of no music. It wasn't because of no movies. When that Negro opened his mouth, man, they were scared. And the problem he got. They said, with all of that, this dude is, and I'm paraphrasing, you name the major ones, the Tupac Williams, the Box Deal, you know what I mean, all that, Uber Ford. He was going to be bigger than that. And then when he turned around and got appointed new African Black Panther chairman, you think they ain't paying attention listening to that, bro? You didn't think they paying attention? So you had major individuals that was in the music industry I'm talking that's up there with the elitists. When you start going there, and then you start bringing major top. I ain't talking about your average politician. I'm talking about politician man with record name. They got power. Now you into the Gutman up there, and they see this dude. That's why I say with that. And being what made it so easy and believable to the cities and the streets and all that, because of how the persona that they thought Pac was. You know what I mean? And that voice and that all that what he said, spitting and all that kind of stuff. It makes sense when you think of that scenario about the Orlando. It fits. It makes sense. But the real thinkers that fall back, like Brother Crutch and all this on the crowd, like that's too neat. That's too neat. That's too packaged together, bro. It's too neat.
So let me add to that, Muse.
Mm-hmm.
What people don't also realize what Pac was doing, and a lot of people didn't really pay attention. He was not only looking at the music business, but he also was talking about distribution.
There you go.
Once you get a hold of distribution, do you realize how much you can take over?
Yes. What he on, bro? That's what he was on.
He was great. He was trying to get these cats together. Not only that had money.
Let me say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Said, asked him a question. He said, God willing, I'm still alive, sitting across the table as a candidate. Oh, you got attention now. For what? To run the political road. That's what he was on. That was his aim.
Yeah. He outgrew Death Row. And months before he died, he fired the lawyer David Kenner, the Death Row artist that was representing him. He fired him, and he went into K&M studio raising hell about his masters. He wanted all his masters and stuff back. But Suge talked to him into going to Vegas. And then the cure accident happened when he fortunately got killed. But Pac was on his way from Death Row. People want to believe
he was signed to Death Row, though.
Yeah. I'm saying he was under. Yeah, he didn't ever sign because he had his own record label. But Jimmy Iovine them threw him to Suge Knight, and they said they didn't want to deal with Pac. So they said they gave Pac off to Suge and made it seem like he was signed to Death Row. Pac wasn't really never signed to Death Row. Yeah. See, that's what Suge was trying to do. Pac was trying to get away from under Suge.
Yeah, Suge thought
like, nah,
to sign with them, but Pac said, hell no. Y'all gave me $5 million, $2 million. I'm finna get y'all money back. I want to be gone. They owed it, Pac.
Right.
Shit, $2.5 million.
Pac never liked them like that. Death Row, now Pac didn't even want to sign with Death Row. Pac had an issue. It was somebody from above the law that was signed to Eazy. Pac was finna draw down on Death Row, and Snoop and Dre and them was still in Pac's flavor. They stole that man. What the song Snoop had. That's to this day. That's why Snoop don't like Pac. Man, Pac took his company from him. You notice when Snoop do a little interview, he'll praise Pac, but he'll talk some slick out the side of his neck. He'll say, "Yeah, Pac knew Biggie didn't set him up." He should. When it comes to it, Snoop still has some type of hatred and negativity because he don't get the love that Pac had, and he wasn't getting it when he was alive, and he hates it. Snoop don't like Pac. He never did like Pac. They never did like each other.
That's obvious. I don't even touch.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
I don't even touch Snoop. And I understood that and knew that. And I don't even touch Snoop. That's the problem I'm saying about it. I don't even touch him because that was just obvious.
And I want keep this in mind too. Y'all realize that Pac didn't wear his bulletproof vest that night either.
Right.
Because his bulletproof vest was actually a Nike. It was like a Nike shirt that was made that was a bulletproof vest that he didn't wear.
Right. My whole thing is back what I said. All this stuff about that was just some step that he had to go to that particular avenue because of the avenue. You know what I mean? He just stuck between the rock and the hard place. They had to step back. But his ultimate goal was way beyond music and movies. You know what I mean? He really finna stop. He was through with music, really. He actually through with music. He was done. He was on something whole totally different. He had so much song, man. He didn't need to write no more album. He could have, like he said, I can write something every so many years. He didn't have to do music no more. He was on something else. That's where he was going. But then when see, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. Especially in our community now, but brother, you talk about chaos situation. Man, you got to. I'd rather have loyalty than respect. Because I've noticed, even in my own scenario, family, other in my lifetime, that people who out there really out there respect me, man, turns out to be up.
Told you what I said earlier about that piece, man.
When he left, but people that was true loyal, you can never turn them. You can never turn them. And people might think, oh man, I know you ain't talking. Man, you down with man, because my nigga loyal, bro. My nigga loyal. He's thorough.
And we always talk about this shit.
They can respect you and still be cutthroat.
We always talk about this. I go back to the scene in Scarface.
Yeah.
The relationship between people feel like only a person who don't understand. Don't understand. I guess I don't know what way to look at it. People say, if you say Scarface was wrong for killing Manny, then I'ma question you.
Okay.
I would just put it like this: if you was to say Scarface was wrong for killing Manny, then I'm gonna look at you some type of way, because Scarface put a lot of trust in Manny. But how many times Manny almost allowed Scarface to lose his life?
He dropped the ball a lot of times. Yeah. Yeah. Messing with them women. Messing with them women.
Messing with my sister. And then we got going to walk with social coming trying to.
No time for that.
He wasn't on stand on business. But another thing, it's key components in that movie. If you watch it there, I love Scarface. If you sit there and watch Scarface, but this another thing you can look at it, Big Bang. Check this out. I'm gonna cut y'all out. I'm gonna shut up after I say this. When another thing too is people don't realize it. Tony let Sosa play him when he killed old dude. He said, "You think I'm finna you think if Sosa say I did this, that, you gonna believe it?" So see, Tony got too, you know what I'm saying, on high up. He was just too eager to get on top, and he didn't know what I'm saying. The man, when Frank was telling the rules of the game, so
did you see what old dude did though, right? See, he didn't care for old boy. From how him and Manny got put on. See, old boy put Manny on the lick at the hotel in the beginning. That's why he said, see him, I never gave a damn about him anyway. For all I know, he was the reason why my best friend Angel got killed in the hotel deal.
Right.
See, old boy tried to set them up, but you know, Scarface, he didn't like the old dude. Never liked the one that Sosa threw from the helicopter. He didn't like Scarface's attitude from the beginning. That was Manny boy. Manny put Manny on the league. Manny he took Scarface with him, but Scarface was the muscle. So that's how he ended up going in the hotel with the dude Angel. But what the fuck was Manny doing then? He told that motherfucker, we got back in 15 minutes. Come upstairs. This nigga down here, all in the woman face. The dude that got chainsawed in the tub. If this nigga would have came up there 15 minutes like Scarface said, Angel would have still been living.
Right.
Man, he fucked up a lot of times, man.
Yeah, man. You sure got a point. The man did screw up a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about loyalty, bro. You got to be so focused, driven, man. It's so be on point, man. You nip stuff right in the bud, bro. You don't even, man. You ain't tolerated, but they know not to play with you. They know not to play with you. But I've known and seen folks that's supposed to be so-called have respect for somebody, but still envy them, bro, and still have ties with hatred for them, bro. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Everybody has
even if he would have blew that call, though. If he would have
And
blew
like
that
people,
car up, he would have still been. He would have still lived throughout that movie. He probably would have went to jail, but if he blow that car up, Sosa never send them people at him.
Yeah. Yeah.
but he had principles though.
But he was a principled dude. He
Right.
didn't go against that shit for nobody.
Mm-hmm.
He
If
knew
he'd have
what
blew that car up,
with.
he wouldn't have went to jail because that would have been part of that bargain. They said you had to you had to pay some back tax and a big fine, but it won't be no jail time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's my favorite. Hey, I don't lie, y'all, man. That's my favorite movie. Every time I watch it, I learn different. I get different shit from it. But it just like,
do y'all guys remember the guy? He was a cast support. His name is Nicky Black.
What his name is?
Nicky Black. He was a hard cast support. He was there during the beginning. I don't know. He kind of left. I guess he kind of faded to the race. Yeah,
I remember.
I just want to let Uncle them know, man. He got a great channel, man. He talk about Pac. He break everything down about Pac. I want to tell Uncle them, man. And y'all guys, I think y'all enjoy his commentary. It's called Tupac Lyrical. And he break everything down on how the life of Pac and his music, how people compare the music. Like he got a great channel. And he's a care supporter too. So I just think y'all guys to subscribe to him. His name Nicky Black. He go live. His channel's called Tupac is Lyrical.
Yeah. I remember him on Black CEO. I remember him from Black CEO.
Yeah, he got a channel. His channel is strictly about Pac. And it's a great channel. I think y'all guys will like it. He drops the gems and he break everything down like how we break it down when it comes to Pac.
Yeah, right, I had to go check that out. That's why I think Pac had that Scarface mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, nephew, it's so many scenes in that Scarface. It crux it, y'all, man. It's hard to name the stuff, but the one that always stands out to me, that me and my late brother love so much, man. You need people like me. You need people like me, so you can point your finger and say, "That's the bad guy." So what that make you good? You just know how to lie. Me, I don't have that problem. I always tell the truth, even when I lie.
Even when I lie.
Hey, man.
Tony was hell, man.
That's
Tony was hell,
take
bro.
me to outer space, boy, when he said that like that. So,
Hey, man, he got them people together in that restaurant, man.
Man, Tony was hell, man. Tony was great. Hey,
how many people know that right now, y'all? They don't have the courage, bro, to be who they want to be. They let the culture strip them, rape them, and assault them from being the big person they supposed to be.
Even when some
I said that because I got a little money, a little beans, that they're gonna change me.
And that's why I respect it, man. That's why I respect Pop. That's why I respect that movie Scarface. That's why I respect Tony.
Say hello to the bad guy.
Because that motherfucker was terrified of Sosa.
A bad guy coming through.
Tony wasn't scared of Sosa.
Hey, I'm telling y'all, motherfucker, man. Hey, y'all, I kid you not, man. The old dude that sneak up from the back of that shotgun, Tony would have got out that motherfucker. He was high on that cocaine. He would have got out that motherfucker. Old dude had to get him from the back. I'm saying, man, that Tony would have kicked out the motherfucker and got out of there.
Man, he went out like a real. I wish he would have had a son or something, man. And it would have been his son come along and go take Sosa out or something, you know. But dude, I mean, I love that movie. I love that movie Scarface, bro. I can watch that shit every day, bro. It just.
We need to get that on the ringtone.
You see how boy was telling him when they first met Sosa, he telling Tony, be quiet, don't say nothing. Tony say, shit, fuck you. Who the fuck is you? He already knew he was finna make the play with Sosa. He come back and told him, I brought back 10. Why would you go and do that? Oh, we're gonna get rid of it anyway.
You don't know Sosa already had a plot on his damn life. Had a plot on his life. You still trying to talk shit and tell Tony what to do. You don't know you finna be going out of me. You finna be taken out of him.
Frank was over with, man. Frank was over with.
And I'm gonna tell you that restaurant scene right there.
Come on.
that restaurant scene symbolizes Tony Montana being the one big R. Kelly supporter, and all the other people that want to say but can't say nothing, or they're talking about, hey, you're not good. You just know how to hide.
Right.
all those other celebrities want to speak of R. Kelly, they hiding.
Hey
Right.
man, Tony got them people together in that restaurant real quick, man.
Real quick.
Yes,
All I got is my bird. He said, he said, all I got is my bird, my word, and my balls, and I don't break them for nobody.
That's what Stokes gonna say, Tony.
There you go.
I really like you, man. I really like you. You couldn't help but the dude was straightforward though, man. He was straightforward who he was in that movie.
Hey, and you never movie. For that.
You know what I'm saying? And
Never
even when I look at the movie also, because it make you understand shit. If you even go and look at the movie with Frank Lucas was doing good, but then when he brought his brothers with him, his brothers the reason why he got fucked up.
Yeah,
So you said that's your uncle. He said that's your cousin first. I don't give a damn. Send his ass back home. But he said, watch the hell of that man gangster. He said, man, that's $5,000 out profit. You don't roll that shit. You block that shit.
Man, you
cold.
Your family expects you to be loyal to them and help them, bro. And they'll come around and they be mad at your position. They want your position, and they'll cause the whole family infrastructure to crumble.
Yeah.
All because of they hatred for you being in the position you in. And that's R. Kelly, man. People came around him. He helped these people out, but they wanted to be him. They wanted to be helping him instead of him helping them, and caused the shit to go the way that it went. You know.
I think something earlier when y'all across when y'all touching on this earlier might be everybody can't be number one. Everybody can't be the chosen one. You gotta sit back and play your position. That's R. Kelly position. He the singer, he the songwriter, he the producer of the hit. You gotta find your position.
You got a shooting guard. You got somebody that can rebound. You got a motherfucker that can play off the ball. You got a motherfucker that can defend on the wing. These are called specialists.
There you go.
So in life, you gotta have specialists around you. You can't have a person around you that want to do everything. No, I need for you to goddamn focus and concentrate on getting rebounds.
Right.
I need for you to focus and concentrate on getting assists.
Right.
Nothing else.
They say the Bulls won those 3 championships back to back with Robin. When I was out there motherfucker trying to score, he was just out there to rebound and defend. He knew his position.
Yeah. And who he was looking for when he got the ball? He might give it to somebody. He to him. That's it. He knew his position. And he played his position. And he knew how to get into the other opponent's head. And he would come to the place, a couple of hours before that, J-Rock, and work out on the bike. Come on, man. And then, hey, I get back on this. This is something I found out just recently that blew my mind, y'all. Rodman, and he asked one of the players, whatever them little things they be sitting around now on the podcast, they be talking. And one of the guys said, he asked Dennis Rodman, he told him, he said, man, what are you doing, bro? He said, when so-and-so shoot the ball, when it leaves his hand, it only rotates so many. But so-and-so, when it leaves his hand, it only rotates. He said, I'm looking at the rotation on the ball. I said, what in the world?
That's how he knew what side of the rim it's going to come
he would diagram. He would go and look at videotapes of the games that was played the same day they played, and he would go diagram it. Him and his videographer would go diagram it, and they would actually put the angles where the ball would bounce off the rim, and that's how he knew how to position his body to get the rebound. That's some crazy shit. Because even David Robinson was talking about that. He said everybody thought he was weird, but he was actually smart, and people don't even realize he carried a 3.8 in college.
I get back.
He's smart. He just do. He just do shit.
People don't know he could score. He just chose not to.
Right.
He averaged 27 in college.
Right. He knew his wrong position.
He knew his wrong.
And he helped him. What the bigger picture was, look how many rings they got him doing that. Now, if he would have been selfish and
Mm-hmm.
insecure and trying to get, you know what I mean, like other ones around Kelp was doing, instead of sitting down, it was somebody, 50 Cent.
Somebody gonna get some knots
50,
put upside their head. I'm gonna
50
put a
Cent
lock
was
in the
talking.
sock.
50 Cent was talking recently that he was somewhere and 50 was
Hey,
Miguel, he was dropping some gems.
oh,
And I think it was Pop Smoke.
hey, oh,
Yeah.
Chapter
Mm-hmm.
7 say you gonna give Kels a headache, boy.
Who?
Chapter 7 say you gonna give Kels a headache,
Oh,
boy.
yeah. I ain't for the mess with Demetrius right now. I ain't for the mess with Chapter 7 right now. So 50 Cent was somewhere and he was talking. The same thing talking about Rodman and all that and leading back to Kill. He said he was somewhere. It was either Pooh Shiesty or Pop Smoke.
Yeah, it was like, oh,
It
shit.
may be another rapper. But they were sitting down and he wasn't looking up at 50 as 50 was talking. I guess like a mental thing trying to, he was dropping some knowledge stuff. And 50 thought he was disrespecting him. He didn't say disrespect, but he thought he wasn't, paying attention. And he came around, everything 50 was saying, dude was writing it down.
That was Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke, okay. You got the problem,
Mm-hmm.
you got the thought I was at. See,
Yeah.
that's what these, I was gonna say something I get back. I'm sorry. These Negroes should have been doing. You had an honor, they had an honor, J Rock. What a privilege. I can't say it the way J Rock said. You know what I mean? The modern day, I can't even put it together how J Rock said. But you had an honor and a privilege to sit under the and lean on me, the expert tutelage, Miguel,
Mm-hmm.
of this great man of our culture and our time, man. And all you had to do was be taking notes, boy. You could have. Woo! Shout out to Sam Wood, but she said that early on, a while back. She said that. She even said, "I learned from this man. I put. That's what they should have been doing. But yet you want to. Oh man, I got to leave it alone, boy. It's so heavy. I got to leave it alone, Miguel. Mm,
See, Brother Muse, you just hit me with something. And this made me think about Suge Knight. As smart as he was,
there you go.
he
You got
wasn't
it.
taking notes on how to keep what he had.
There you go. You got it. You got it.
You know, so if you think about what you just said, every little note you take and you write it down
That's it.
and you got a vision to make it plain, it'll come to fruition as long as you go back and pay attention to what you wrote.
That's it. That's it. I
But if
do it
you
all.
write nothing and you go just off of what you got in your head, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna lose it because you're not gonna go back to your reference.
Right. Right. Unless you have to train your mind. And you have to, woo, and that takes woo to do that.
Mm,
So
mm,
anytime on this panel, no disrespect to none of our brothers and sisters to the big Bot family. None of them. Because we don't never know and don't need to know. Everybody's go through and they struggle. But we know as a
mm,
human, everybody got it. What's my point? What Uncle Me's point? My point is anytime these great men of God are on this panel, y'all need to be writing this down. Y'all need to be studying this and writing this down because I take this as a covenant sacredness when I come on this platform. I'm gonna give you everything that's in the depths of my soul, in the very core of my being. I want you to walk away from Big Bow opinion, transform and change. So when you go back and replay this, and when you go back and play that 24-hour live we did, that's why I keep on referencing. Go back to part 4. Go to that part with Nephew Vi. It got the list. He studied us so carefully with such precision that he knew who to give the questions to and how to phrase it the way he phrased it to extract what was needed out of us. That has
mm,
blessed me so much, Miguel. I went back to that and played it, and it shook me. I was in tears of joy. It just did something to me. I said, "Wow, something happened on that live, man." I told nephew back a couple of days ago about it. I get back.
indeed, indeed. Well, I'm gonna say this before I go, brothers. It's been a beautiful Saturday, a great evening of conversation. Big Vi, as always, nephew. You're always coming on at the right time, at the right place, and the right purpose. As I've always said, God has put you in a position to do something to help the people see. Keep doing what you're doing, brother, because at the end of the day, if you only help one person for that moment, you've done your job for that day. And to my
Yeah.
brother, Muse, Crux, J Rock, Lil Mac, continue to be a voice to the people. And to all the people in the chat, your comments, your support serves well with this channel. And we thank you for it. So with that being said, my brothers and sisters, enjoy the rest of your weekend, enjoy the rest of your Saturdays. And always remember, if God woke you up this morning, everything else is secondary. It's your attitude and how you deal with it will either elevate you or keep you in one place. Love you all. Blessings, my brothers and sisters.
Blessings, brother.
All right, Sir Miguel, peace and love to you, man.
100.
And you know, before I dip on out, also, Vi, I need a favor from you.
West side.
I need the information you got
Which one?
when Aaliyah filed that lawsuit against Cook County.
Yeah, that was a good point, J Rock.
All right.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that.
If you can email it, text me, or whatever, because for some reason, a lot of these people against R. Kelly, I talk to them, they don't want to talk to me no more. Every time they don't want to talk to me no more, bro.
Now, I don't want to talk about it.
Then J Rock with the other lady you mentioned, Leah Taylor. I think that was the name of the man that abused.
Write that down, J Rock. Take a screenshot. That's the case number right there.
Okay.
I had brought that up, J Rock, about in Kwame Brown's chat about I said let y'all know that somebody said, okay, you need on the tape. Okay, I give you that. He said, what about Aaliyah? Was Aaliyah did he marry Aaliyah? I said, actually he did marry Aaliyah because it was a publicity time went wrong, and Aaliyah sued Cook County David Ord about that marriage for Street, and they her decision before. You know what? They never responded back to me after I wrote good.
There you go. And what they tell you, Lil Mac, what they tell you about people's mindset in their heart.
They don't know what they just they're going off.
Like J Rock, who sent you? Who sent you? As J Rock would say, who sent you? And my response is, go get some help.
Right.
Yep.
Like I don't understand why people have so much hatred toward this man. Like they don't want this man to be innocent what he's been accused of. Like they mind is so manipulated and brainwashed to the fact that he gotta be guilty of something. He did something.
Because they relive in
I told you that's a slavery response, man.
They reliving their pain and they hurt. Some people I done found out, J Rock, God blessings. Yeah. God blessings this year. 57 years old, coming this September. And because of God's grace and his goodness, I look amazing. You wouldn't even know I was 57. And I've discovered, I said all that to say this, not to toot the horn. I said all that to say this.
No, go ahead and toot it. It's your horn, you might as well toot it.
Right. I came to the conclusion of this. Some people, they have become aware, they understand, and they have drawn the conclusion. And yet they have decided they don't want to be saved. They don't want to be helped. They don't want to.
I have made an ass out of a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
and now it's like hell. I was even on a thread earlier today on another video.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody was talking about free R. Kelly, and then one guy said free a known pedophile. Why? And then I jumped in. I said a pedophile according to whom?
Right.
And then I said according to the mainstream media that have been putting out a public lynching one-sided narrative.
Right.
A government that actually has been coming out here, got these so-called victims lying on the stand. Oh yeah, that part is in the court transcripts. Or do I even need to go into the fact that with all that being said, you got a music label that know that man's music catalog is worth at least $1.5 billion and now it's due to him. So
Yep.
take your pick.
Yep.
But they didn't respond. Or they
No.
respond.
Hell no, they ain't responding to me yet. Still haven't.
Or what they gonna do, J Rock? They either A, they ain't gonna respond, or B, they gonna hit you. Oh, you must be a pedophile. You support a pedophile. That's the only thing they got.
They
They
didn't even
ain't got
say
no
that.
argument.
They didn't even call me a P lover. They didn't even call that. They didn't even said anything.
Right.
I think what messed him up is like, oh hell, now he got all this stuff. Now I got to go ahead. Now I got to research all this shit you said.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Hey, J Rock. Also, it just amazes me, you all, that they actually think that once this is over and no one can milk this no more, all those who's involved, I'm still want to see them numbers, man. All that they put, I want to know that the number gonna be staggering. All of this that they put into it. Once this passed and they no longer concerned about this individual no more, don't they think it's gonna be somebody else?
Right. Y'all know what a crazy thing?
Do they think this is it as the world we know it? Do they really comprehend that? That if they can do this to somebody of this status like that, do you know the average person walking the earth is already sentenced?
But they don't see
They
it
just
that
get
way.
started. They don't see it that way. They're too blind.
Wow. Wow.
They don't see it that way.
Wow. That's all I can say. Wow.
I think somewhere Boosie had did a live. He was talking about how I guess after Whack 100 did the interview with R. Kelly, he was like, man, they did R. Kelly case wrong, man. It's messed up, man. They need to free that man. They're wrong for what they did to him. Then got one person up on the company saying he's still guilty. He's just trying to get off technicality. How would we know he's guilty if the government playing a dirty game? I can't see him being guilty of the government doing something shady or the people that trying to prosecute doing something dirty. How would we know if he's innocent or guilty if you got the government playing dirty to convict him? That's big violence right there in itself. Maybe he ain't guilty of what they charge. People need to stop talking and stop writing this stuff on the comment and think before they write something.
Right. And see,
Because
look,
if you had it, let me say this real quick. I'm gonna let you get it. If you truly had an open shut case, he
right.
wouldn't need no technicality to get out. You wouldn't be no technicality. But my bad. I'm so
Right.
sorry. I mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I lost my train of thought, but go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just making that point clear. I get back to J Rod. I'm just saying, like, a guy was on the company telling Boosie, man, he's still guilty. He's just trying to get off on the technicality. But okay, I was saying, like, how would you know if he's guilty or not when you got the government being corrupted? You can't even see is he guilty because you got so much corruption by the government that's been going on. Who's the criminal? R. Kelly or the federal government?
So I'll say this: whoever initiated the thought, it really don't matter. It's really irrelevant. But when all the pieces form and it came in agreement, whatever else that came to this, they had an evil foresight down the line, knowing the damage that this would cause once they created this dark cloud in this umbrella. Because whoever did this, man, I can't say it no other way. And I ain't trying to go deep in church with it. They are truly demonic and wicked.
Right.
They are really dark. And I need people to really get the depth and the seriousness of that. And I'm not playing with my doggone words. I don't care if a person cheated. I don't care if you got finesse. I don't care if you knew what the agreement was and you got in your feelings and in your emotion. You don't do that to another human.
Right.
You got to be wicked and demonic to do something like that. And hold on to your bitterness and your jealousy and your pain and hurt that has nothing to do with this man. Because you didn't get justice and you're not whole and healed. You ain't no different from that judge that gave that 30-year sentence. You are wicked and you are satanic. And I hope that the God that created the heavens and the earth have mercy on your soul.
You give the man 30 years sentence on a federal RICO and he ain't got one damn co-defendant. Make that make sense.
Y'all picked the wrong one this time. Y'all picked the wrong one.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all picked the wrong one. Everybody that joined the forces, all the little cracks, all the little mean jokes, all the little stuff, all the little community, all of the stuff, everybody that commented said anything on this man. In the words of J Rock, J Rizzle, you gonna catch it. You might not never connect it. You might not never connect it. And I yield back.
Hell, some already catching. Look at Michael Avenatti. Look at the Clares. They ain't came out since them text messages came out. They've been catching pure hell. The Savage, they thought I ain't fooling with them. I ain't trying to establish no relationship with them. These people catching their own personal hell. They just don't want to come out here and admit it.
Yeah, look at Steve Harvey and Shirley Strawberry.
Woo!
Ooh.
I ain't up on that one.
Well, allow me to tell you this, give you a brief rundown. Shirley, they said them some disparaging things about R. Kelly. Now, Shirley Strawberry, who has a strawberry letter, husband has some legal troubles right now.
I heard something. I didn't hear
which happened to involve
something.
Which happened to involve, I guess it was an ex-girlfriend, but then they talk about, he can't be allowed around kids or animals.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you for that. There's a lady named Julia Conley said, yes, they are. It said Oprah and Gail too. We all know about what just happened to Oprah.
What happened to Oprah?
Oprah's spiritual healer, quote unquote, John of God, been caught in a major scandal, which involved about what, 600 kids, 600 young girls.
Oh yeah.
That part.
Yeah. See, it don't come. It just don't come, and that's why See, people be thinking they want the limelight and success, all of this stuff. I'm talking as associated with just celebrities and all of that. You don't know what I ain't talking about the rituals, and I ain't talking about what you got to do in the industry. I'm not talking about none of that stuff. Just the mere fact of just what it takes to be an artist and to maintain this ain't what you think it is. And for this man to be able to stand up under the weight of this ain't, man, you can't do that. I don't care what nobody say, and I don't care what your people religion is, respect all of that. I just got to keep it a buck, man. I just got to keep it a band. You can't do that in the natural, bro. I don't care what nobody tells you, bro.
Right. Hey, J-Rock, I want to get your thought on Kwame Brown, the go along, get along gang. How he back. He talking about he knew a known library source from Chicago, known that R. Kelly was at the high school and all that. He got his information from that YouTube live Casino for Life. Y'all, they are familiar with him.
Yeah.
He from Chicago. He claimed he did an interview claiming that he knew Tiffany and he was saying all this, and he another blogger that Kwame real cool with it, and he like to make up lies and put a little spin on like he know all these celebrities and all. He just a local joker, a YouTube sensation that tell lies on stories and make himself seem relevant. That's what because he was in the Kwame chat saying that was Sister Spin Fire, Sister Sharon Winbush down there was breaking it down. He was like, they're lying. But how are they alive when you haven't even found out one red piece of this case? They do the fraud, man.
Yeah. And
I agree.
Funny you should mention Spitting Fire, because Spitting Fire actually had a reading of a transcript last night.
Did she?
Dealing with Pauline.
Y'all subscribe to the Mill, man. She break it down. Now I love that y'all.
Yeah. How do you spell that again?
She's supposed to have she's part 2 of that tonight, I think.
Bullying is is Muni is bully is MIB, Muni is bullying.
Okay. Oh yes, MIB. Okay. Do your M
MIB
acronym?
Yeah, MIB.
Okay. MIB. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember what it. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna play that one.
My bad, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that when we get off here. Yeah. Yeah, I love.
And see, and one more point that I can actually prove the fact that, you know, well, he married Aaliyah. Guess what? I can really prove that was a publicity stunt.
I'm tired
I've
of hearing
already
that.
done it, but I got a new angle to it now.
Okay.
With J Rock, run it for us.
Yeah, because if anybody knows, during the 90s or even 80s, whenever an artist comes out with an album, whenever you get ready to generate a tour, your album needs to have about 2 hit singles, maybe 3, right?
Right.
To generate the tour.
See, I didn't know that, J Rock. I didn't know all of the particulars about that.
Yeah, think about it. Yeah, go back and usually the time frame that happens is an average time frame of about 6 months from the time the album was released. Now, take a look at Aaliyah. Her album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, dropped May 24th, 1994.
Okay.
The so-called marriage happened August 31st, 1994. That's 3 months after the album was released. So that puts it right in the middle of a time frame trying to generate buzz for your album for a potential. Jomo Hankerson had put out a message, which Dana had. Shout out to Dana, because Dana got the message on it. Said that Jomo Hankerson said that the Aaliyah marriage and Aaliyah R. Kelly marriage was a publicity stunt.
Right.
And it's got to be true, because that happens right in the middle of the time when you're trying to get the momentum and the buzz for the album to try to generate a tour. Remember, Big Vi, I think, had the video, or somebody had the video talking about showing that Aaliyah was talking about her tour, and the tour was going to happen like in the middle of December, almost going to it. I think maybe pause during the holidays and then would resume later on. That's at least 6 months since the album was released. Plus, let's keep in mind also, the Vibe magazine that talked about R. Kelly and Aaliyah marriage with the marriage certificate in it, that Vibe magazine got released in the middle part of December, which was exactly around the time the tour was supposed to start and the time that Vibe was supposed to start. Vibe magazine was supposed to be released, because that was the February edition of Vibe of 1995.
And was that the year also when the altercation happened in Louisiana?
94, yes. Because keep in mind, it was August 31st, 94 when the marriage took place. And the altercation in Lafayette happened around just before Labor Day weekend. Because remember, I told you my brother and his wife went to that concert, spent the night in Lafayette, came back home. Now to really mess everybody head up, they want to keep pushing this R. Kelly BS in regards to this, that, and the third. How about this? They stuck R. Kelly with a RICO charge. So if you had any kind of criminal activity whatsoever, any legal activity, whatever's involved is going to be under the umbrella of that RICO.
Correct.
So why would the government not mention the fact that R. Kelly had an aggravated assault charge, which got escalated to a felony assault charge while he was on? They never mentioned it. And the reason why they didn't want to mention it,
because it would contradict the marriage.
Right, it would contradict the marriage, but also that means the whole narrative about him going back to Chicago to marry Aaliyah would have been shot, because he went back to Chicago for a whole other reason, and Aaliyah wasn't it.
Right, and then another thing too, people don't realize R. Kelly always get the blame for the album Age Ain't Number. And it's clear as day that R. Kelly did an interview, and he was in the studio, and they would ask, "How do y'all come up with the song Age Ain't Nothing But a Number?" R. Kelly said, "Well, Aaliyah and her friends were running around the studio, and they kept hollering about age ain't nothing but a number."
Exactly.
Go back prior to I think it was 2000, 2001. Aaliyah did an interview. She said that she didn't want to be known as a pop star or something like that. Well, she didn't want to be known to be young. So,
she wanted to put it in no little box. The
album title to be named Age as a Number because she wanted to be taken serious as an artist. And then you got to go farther into there.
Woo!
You got her mother, and also her father, who was her manager at that time, Then you got Barry Hankins, who was R. Kelly manager at the time, who was over Black Rock Records. If they had an issue with that album being put out saying that, why did they say that? It's all to promote. Aaliyah never even let nobody know her age, what age was. R. Kelly was the one that came out and even said she was 14. He said, I got this young girl, 14-year-old girl on record, her name is Aaliyah. But Aaliyah and her not throwing them on the bus now, they didn't even want to reveal her age. R. Kelly revealed her age. So why would this man reveal her age to everybody if he didn't want to know he was trying to marry her? And then not only that, the man even states, and he dropped several gems in his song. He say you gotta be 18 and old. It's like 3 songs that off the 12 play alone that he said you gotta be 18 and old. And I like the crowd said 18 and older, 16 and under. When he say 18 and older, he said your age you gotta be 18 and older, and your waist size gotta be 16 and under.
Right. Put It's real simple. I want you to elaborate on that, Lil Mac.
Read that again, man.
Say that one more time, Lil Mac.
Oh, when he had that song, I think it's called "Crouch on You." I like the on 12 play album.
Yeah.
Be 18 or older, and 16 and under. When he say that, he means you got to be 18. The age you got to be 18 and older,
and your size
16 and under.
Your size, your waist size. Lil Mac. Hey, Rob.
What's the name of the song, Lil Mac?
The Crouch on You.
I like the Crouch on You.
Yeah, that is what that's. Wow.
But people talk 18 and older and 16 and under.
Wow, that's
And
why you got.
And also,
wow.
Lil Mac, I appreciate you for that because you really broke that down thoroughly. And also, I got another song for you. If y'all remember the song that he did, "Fucking You Tonight" with Biggie, he had another song which is kind of an extension of that on the In Too Deep soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
called "Used to Me Spending." And one line R. Kelly said in this song, he said, "If you don't have a curfew, keep it real and we'll be cool. And if your ID's up to age, you're going to get some 12 play." Wait a minute.
Wow.
You just said that this man like underage girl. If your ID's up to age, you're going to get some 12 play.
Yeah, you remind me of Jeep.
And that was one song, J-Rock.
You remind me of my Jeep. Show me some ID before we get knee deep.
Yeah, right.
That's the Bumper Grind remix.
The Bumper Grind remix.
J-Rock, what was that song you were just referencing?
It's called "Used to Me Spending."
Used to Me Spending. Okay, Used to Me Spending.
Look up the In Too Deep movie soundtrack that was with Omar Epps and LL.
Let me go back to something that Lil Mac was saying down that might seem real small and minute, but it's just powerful. When you said, how did y'all come up with the song? And Lil was like, because she didn't want to be putting about, she wanted to be taken serious. That solidified in his Solar Coaster book and what he's been saying throughout all his career and all his interviews, how he gathers his song. That's the common thread. He said he'll be somewhere, he'll hear something, and something happen. I said, man, that's the same way Pac acquired his song. Pac, for the most part, kept a rhyme book. When you bring him, a rhyme or some music, and he wrote his stuff down, so he'll look through his pages and he'll say, okay, play me what you got, like, and Pac would be, what else you got? Said, yeah, I want that beat. Let me get that right there. That's the backdrop of these lyrics I just already wrote. I want to say. So it's like whatever. Pac could read something in the news, hear something. That's what happened with the Machiavelli album. And that's why he had to hurry up and turn it in. Because he really did the album like in 3 days. You know what I mean? Because he was just related. So him and Kels had the same, as my point is, they had the same, I don't know the words for it, J-Rock, but how they gathered their songs. So it ain't like he came up and because he liked them. No. He picked up what was around him and was able to craft it. Oh, man. That might sound something small, man, but that just stood out to me when the man said it.
While we on this subject, while we doing the comparison of Pac and R. Kelly, Pac, you know what I'm saying? He was facing that rape case with Alana Jackson. Y'all notice in his interviews, he never bashed though. He never said she's a lying bitch, nothing like that. He never addressed it because he said, I can say the wrong thing and she can sue millions. He said that in the interview. Notice how Kels, when he do interviews, he never bashed these women. He never say that.
Right.
They go. It's a reason they doing it. They know that these people are lying, but they know what they gotta watch and be mindful of what they say, because if they say something wrong, they can get sued. They can take it and spin it. Like, people can be thinking, well, why R. Kelly being quiet? Why he ain't defending himself? He doing that for a reason. People told him to shut up and let your lawyers handle it, because if he would have, as soon as he say something out the wrong way, just like he did the interview with that punk ass Torrey, they took his words and twisted them. The man said, I like, he said, when you say teenagers, what are you talking about? He said, I like women that's 19 and up. He said, yeah, I got 19-year-old friend. He wasn't saying nothing about no damn teenage girl, because you Torrey, you know, there's teenagers that's 18 and 19 that they're illegal. He took that man words and played on. That's why Kel don't do a whole lot of interviews, because every time he try to explain himself or try to put it in the forms of people to understand what he's saying, they take his shit and twist it. So I don't blame him why he don't defend himself. He got to be guilty, because every time it's damn if he do and damn if he don't.
Yeah, yeah. But then the people that says the falsehood and all of that, they protect it, and they could just say anything, like to destroy your whole life, your career, and your character, assassinate you, everything. They can do that, but you don't have to respond to protect. That's crazy, bro. But that's the world we live in, unfortunately. And that's what a lot of people don't get until they come knocking at your door. You can talk all this stuff about Kill, y'all in the bushes, wherever you at. You can say whatever you want. But when it come knocking at your door and your family, I want y'all to have the same energy, man, that y'all been having on this man.
Right.
Let's keep the same energy.
And you can tell this man, I can look at R. Kelly up and down. I can tell you what this man's preference is. This man like women that's of age, that's petite. If you look at all his girlfriends, none of them are on the thick side. They very petite, and they very small, and they very statue of built of slim thick. And they of age, because if you look at the Chicago and indictment, and if you go back to the New York indictment, a lot of these women was 18, 17. It wasn't no kid, really, no real kids in the case, because just check this out. If you got Lisa Van Allen, who tried to lie and say that she was underage, but the whole time she was of age, she was talking about she was 17, which it came out Jennifer Crossed, she was 18. Then you go back into look into Tracy Sampson, when she said that she was 17 when it came out, she was really 18, and the jury did not believe her. Then you go back to Django number 5 in the New York trial, who R. Kelly asked her and asked her, "Are you sure you 18? Are you 18?" Lied about her age. Then you go from Jeronna Pace. She's sitting there talking about she's 19. Lied about her age. This man got a preference. He like women that's 19, 18, and up. And what they did, these women lied about the age and prayer preference. Because if you go back and look into it, none of these women that didn't lie about the age, on the people you got that can say they was 15, 14, all that crap, is that Aaliyah, and when he married her, and an old girl from that tape. Other than other stuff, all these women was 18, 17, up in age, and then you got quite a few of them that lied. So what they did, they preyed on the preference of this man, like an 18 and 19-year-old. So that's how they stuck in the cracks. They talking about that.
And then
go ahead.
They didn't move. They talk about the age limit. They talk about the number of age, the age number when it comes to the women, but they're not taking his age from 54 to being.
There you go. Yeah, that's another thing.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying.
Check this out, Big Boy. Let's say R. Kelly, all these motherfuckers be on here talking about R. Kelly up in Kentwood. They need girls, young girls. If R. Kelly could have been goddamn 25, 26, 21, 23, and if he was messing with a 17-year-old and an 18-year-old in Chicago, that's perfectly legal, because the age of consent is 17. He wasn't breaking the damn law. If he was up there at Kentwood, they girls in high school, that's not a lot. If she was 17 or 18, that's legal.
Let me say this, because I'm familiar with that school.
Man, ask yourself, how was Demetrius Smith allowed to be inside of Kenwood Academy, filming students, when he ain't student by 15-year-old girl?
That's it. See,
And he was way older than Rob. He was like 10 years Rob senior. He was like his damn near almost 40. He was like 35, 36 up at the high school. But y'all got so much
who it
scope
was.
details.
That's who it was. That's who it was.
He really
That's
went up there with
it was chapter 7.
because he can't read it. Only Lee McGlenn could put the music in format the R. Kelly could understand. That's why he was going back to the school. It wasn't for no damn girl.
Which is exactly what I was about to say, because they always leave that little piece of the story out.
Yeah,
the
she did it with the
R.
piano.
Kelly went back up there was not to go after any kind of underage girls. He went up there because he still had that learning disability. He knew that Miss McClellan still worked there, and she could help convert his music into songs. That's the real reason why all that happened in the first place. But why does nobody in Chicago ever want to bring that part up?
Yeah, J-Rock. I used to shoot basketball over in one of the local playgrounds that's maybe about less than 10-minute walk from Kenwood. The name of the park is Shoesmith. Those who are in Chicago that's born and raised and familiar with the High Park area, you can solidify what I just said. There are officers always, let me repeat it again, always in that high school. Always in that high school. There's no way humanly possible on the planet a well-known, however y'all want to label this person falsely, could achieve that on a regular basis and it be well known, and then his notoriety is building and building and building the way that community interacts with one another. There's no way. So you don't know what you're talking about. That's the craziest thing that gets me, man, about our culture, man. We are laid in hurt, in pain, in unforgiveness, and whatever deficit, and it's legitimate. My heart goes out for anybody that's been wounded, abused in any type of fashion. We promote healing. We pray for you to get through that. Even see a therapist, a counselor, get a life coach, get somebody to help you navigate through that. That I can imagine how that is. But don't you dare stay in that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years like that.
Right.
Yep. And also, too,
why are you living on the planet doing that to yourself and then the harm to others? That somebody can manipulate you like that and use you and then throw you away like trash because you're so hurt and in pain. And I'm talking about stuff I know, J. Rock. People in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, man, and they still dealing with stuff in their teenage years because they don't want to go get help.
And that's what they did. These people, they like what's the name? I always say, Joseph. They study us. They knew if they would have put Surviving R. Kelly on the air, and a whole bunch of black women was quote unquote getting abused. They know that the black female was going to sympathize with that because we've been through that so much in our culture of our women being raped and taken advantage of, and our people being taken. They was going to sympathize with those people. They knew what they were doing. They set all that in motion, and you got people on that. Ooh, that documentary pissed me off. Well, then after you go back and watch now, you're like, damn, like how can we see him and we when we fell for this? It's the same okay dope. They do us like this all the time. And I hear back, J-Rock. I know you were saying something, my brother. My bad.
Well,
hey baby, I'm so sorry to you, chat. We so sorry, boy. We've been in the zone. Everybody in the chat, we apologize. Blessings and peace to everybody in the chat for your support to Big Vibe Opinion. Thank you for K baby. You already know. You my girl. Darlene, A-Child, all of y'all queens, and your brethren in here. Man, Ashley, bless all y'all, man. We apologize for not acknowledging y'all. You know, charge it to our head, not to our heart. I yield back to you, J-Rock.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, what I was about to say is one of the parts that they keep sewing in that little lie about talking about. Well, I saw R. Kelly having sex with Aaliyah back in the tour bus. Now, here's the strange part. They never told you what tour they were on or what city they were in. because R. Kelly had only one major tour prior to his 12-play tour, and that tour was the Private Line tour with Gerald Levert, which came out around the spring of 1992. Now, remember what I said earlier about the fact that usually an album would need about 6 months for a tour. If you got about a couple hot singles from it, Gerald had that because his album dropped October 91, and then around the spring of 92. Matter of fact, you can go to YouTube right now. There's a video with Gerald Levert performing Private Line at the Apollo, which was the last week of April, which shortly after that is when his tour jumped off. So that was the only tour that he would have been on at that moment in time. So Aaliyah would have been 13. Where was Aaliyah at that point? Because the only time that he would have been able to have a tour or a tour bus was at that point in time. And nothing, and R. Kelly and Aaliyah had never been on tour. So just throw that out there right now.
Right, because the 12-play tour it didn't take off till what, late 94, 95, 94?
Yeah, the 12-play tour was the summer of 94.
Right, you can just break the key components down in these transcripts.
People don't want to listen to. The truth is not entertaining, man.
Right.
Woo! That's sad, nephew. That's the thing that our culture better. They should really seriously grasp that. We can shift off this case for a minute. Because if you think that being from our ethnicity and our culture, if you don't think there's some stuff been in the working, well, y'all been distracted with all this other stuff going on. Not just this case, but all the other stuff that they allow. And there's other stuff that you don't hear about, the other crimes, the other culture. I'm talking about it's just a human thing. No, a human is exempt. If y'all can sit back and cross your arm and think that y'all okay, and y'all don't understand the laws that are being implemented to delete us off the planet, if y'all don't see that, I don't know what to tell no other human, man, from our culture. I don't know what to tell y'all. Because if y'all ain't been paying attention, the nephew said it earlier, I don't care. I don't know what y'all been looking at. There's really stuff going on in this planet, man, that's going on. And if y'all don't see this more than what it is, the underlying message that we have to stand, you know what I mean? Deal with your inner issues, and we got to come together, people. I ain't just no other race, man. I ain't on none of that old crazy stuff, man. Because we from the human family. If y'all don't understand that it's some type of, I don't know what you call it, J-Rock, some type of, man, it's something crazy, man. People mad. It's just gone.
In the care, they're detriment to our culture too, because it don't belong. You got once care situation get transpired, they're going after the next. Who's gonna be the next victim here?
It's a gift.
Go ahead.
It's inevitable. It's a certainty it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay. All you gotta do, if you think I'm lying, now you're back on this statement. If you think I'm lying and anything I've ever said when I come on my nephew platform, if you think everything I've said out of my mouth don't mean nothing, hear this right here. If you want to believe and know that I'm telling the truth, go back in history to the great kings, Alexander the Great, Nebuchadnezzar. Go back to ancient Babylon, ancient Rome. Look at those powerful kingdoms. Look at the history. When those individuals start to mess with God's people, when they start to act like that was God themselves, when they went against the order that the Creator set in place for you to respect, even in your position that you had, He respected you. And look what happened to those kingdoms. It's history, in other words, what I'm saying. History repeats itself. Just look at it. Let's look at it. Look at it. You know, Pearl Harbor, look at it. You know, the Arab slave trade, where they murdered and slaughtered some 40 to 60 million that you never hear about. Just look at the pattern. Just look at it.
No, you look at that like when you bring it up about the slave trade, all those hurricanes start from the Africa all the way back from where those boats came from and when they hit. All these southern countries, all the way up the East Coast.
But you know what else? That I'll go ahead and kind of piggyback on this point. Remember when I said that the so-called marriage happened August 31st, 1994?
Yeah.
And all these articles that's been out kept saying that, the marriage got annulled 3 days later. August 31st, 1994 was a Wednesday.
Okay.
3 days later is on a Saturday. You can't annul a marriage on the weekend.
Correct, because the offices are closed.
And
not only that, you can't annul a marriage with just one party either.
Right. That's another
right.
point. And then people kept saying like, well, Aaliyah and R. Kelly flew together to Chicago to get married. How the hell that was gonna happen when R. Kelly was in Lafayette and Aaliyah was in Detroit?
Right.
Hey, chapter 7 for that man and that girl's signature, because you look at those signatures, you can tell that that's a man handwriting. How he wrote Aaliyah Halter's name down to R. Kelly, and R. Kelly can't really not to bastard, bro. He can't write like that, man. That's chapter 7 written all over.
All the handwriting is the same.
Right. Even for Aaliyah's name and for Robin's name. They forged that, man. Leah said in 3 different interviews she was not married. And then every time people come out here and talk about they're a fan of Aaliyah and R. Kelly is a monster and all that, and this girl sitting there saying that she's not a victim. Every time you do that, you do a disservice to Aaliyah because you calling her a liar.
Right. And I wonder, nephew Vi and J Rock, since chapter 7 was incarcerated and stuff going there in his public, and I know after they probably did their sentence and get out, isn't it still, and forgive me for the lack of wording, but isn't it in their archives or whatever where you can pull that up? You know what I mean? To see what
you're talking about when he was on tour?
No, I'm talking about with chapter 7 himself being incarcerated. And my point is to see his handwriting and his signature.
No, probably so.
You would think.
You follow what I'm saying, nephew?
Right. I mean, Jennifer, she tried to introduce specialists into the court, but our girl Ann Donnelly, she didn't allow it. One thing Ann Donnelly have to know is this, though. I'm gonna say this before I get ready to get out of here. Is they say when you go into the courtroom, they have a sign over the judge that say ignorance to the law.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
Right.
Okay. So how could you? She was ignorant to the law that she's supposed to be made sure was served.
Right.
She didn't. Right. She allowed these people to run a one-man RICO case that should have never even went to trial.
Y'all want to know my comment on that particular judge and these particular individuals that we have mentioned? Go to Big Vi Opinions Live in his archive and that 24-hour live that we recently did, and go to part 4. Go to part 4. Go to like the 346, somewhere in there. Once you hear J Rock's voice talking, play it right there, and you'll hear my nephew. He's going to go into and say, okay, it's 1 o'clock now, and he's going to start mentioning names. He can get it. Listen to that piece right there. I tell you, y'all can get blessed and get a treat if y'all want to revisit that. We're going to pretty much sum up and touch on everything pretty much what we just been speaking on.
Oh, definitely, man. I appreciate it. And this right here, what you see on the stream, when people talk about they got an annulment. But like shout out to our boy Q Nundrum as well. Q Nundrum said even if it was an annulment, it still has to be a docket number.
Right.
It still has a docket number.
I remember him saying that. Yeah, I remember him saying that. Shout out to Q.
But and they say when they attend the court hearing, on the petition of annulment, both you and your spouse must attend the hearing. So she couldn't have went and got an annulment without R. Kelly being in prison. But the more you talk about this shit, these people don't want to listen to it because the whole purpose of getting married was for her to get an abortion. But if you got a fucking fake ID, why go get married to go get a fucking abortion? I mean, you just use the ID. I mean, none
Right.
of this shit makes sense. But they want us to sit here and make it make sense for them. I mean, you go get an ID to say you then the ID has no age on it. Come on, man. So how the fuck did it work for the marriage if the ID didn't have an age on it? And this was testified to by Demetrius Smith. So I like the fact that Jennifer, asked to argue for an oral argument on this appeal shit. So, man, I can't wait. I never tuned in to none of these court hearings or none of that, but whenever that come around, I will be tuned in to hear it.
And see, you know what, Vi? Here's the thing that people have not yet asked themselves this question. Why has none of R. Kelly's legal issues been televised?
Mm.
They don't want the people to see, man, because like you got people out there like Whack 100 and other people, other regular civilian people who, when they start seeing channels like this and other channels that go into the depths of the transcripts and paperwork, then people start to say, man was set up. But like I also always say, when did us as a culture of black people start depending on the news to tell us about our community?
There you go.
Yep.
So I'm finna get ready to head over by my brother's house for a fight night.
Oh, okay.
It was good. Man, a good 3 hours and 30 minutes of talking to you guys.
Man, nephew, we needed this, nephew. I know you got a lot going on, nephew. We really bless you and appreciate you, man, for taking time.
Y'all, man. I thank y'all for the blessings. Like
We
I said,
needed
I thank for the emails, people reaching out, checking on me. Just know, God got me in the washing process right now. So,
right.
Let me ask you, Vi, who do you like on the fight tonight?
Man, I'm a Earl Spence fan, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth with it. I look at it like this, man. Terrence Crawford survived being shot in the head. Errol Spence walked away from a car accident that a lot of people felt like he should have never walked away from. So you talk about a battle of attrition. You got two of them right there. So after going what they've been going through, what they went through, fighting is easy at this point.
It's gonna be a dog fight. I just hope it be worth the hype.
Yeah,
it's been hyped up for a few years, so hopefully it be worth the hype, man. And them guys get in there, be safe. You know what I'm saying? Go home to their families and enjoy life. With this money that they about to make tonight.
Yeah, I heard about the rematch clause too that they got up in there. They talk about there's already a rematch supposed to be on deck. Now the winner of the rematch, whoever that may be, gets a chance to choose the venue on where the rematch is supposed to be held. So if Errol Spence wins it, it could definitely be in Jerry's world.
If Earl Spence win, most definitely is gonna be in the Cowboy Stadium. Thank you, Ash. But if Terrence win, he won't go to Nebraska. But it's a good card too, man. Because everybody remember, I'm not sure how many people watch boxing, but Pitbull Cruz, he had a good fight. The last time I seen him, he fought Tank, and it went to 12 rounds. So, that's gonna be a good fight to watch too. So.
I ain't been up on it. I ain't been keeping up on it. But what the weight division is this?
147.
Okay. It's
like welterweight. So
welterweight. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now this one, according to other people, they're saying like this gives them the kind of vibes of like Hagler, Hearns, Leonard.
I would say Hagler, Hearns, because them people really fought back then. But me personally, I would probably say like a Mosley Mayweather type.
Okay.
But you
Okay.
talk about Hagler and Hearns, that's a
Yeah,
whole
that was,
different.
yep. That was a whole different era.
That's legendary. That's legendary.
Yeah,
Sir.
that's so legendary.
Yeah,
These
they
guys
fought
don't
wars.
even have the
Yeah, they fought
resume.
wars in the ring. Yeah, they
These
fought
guys
wars.
don't even have the resume of a Hagler Hearns. These dudes barely got. They don't even have 50 fights each.
Marvin's Hagler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roberto Duran. Roberto Duran.
Roberto Duran.
Yeah, Duran versus Leonard. Leonard
Right.
versus Hearn. That was the golden age of boxing there.
Yeah, that was some good. Now you flash back there, man. You talking something? I'm gonna ease on now. Bless you, nephew.
Bless
Bless you.
bless
Taking the time
I'm
out.
going up out of here.
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
News. Peace
Yeah.
and
Bless
love in
you.
the chat.
It's always an honor, J Rock. Always an honor and a pleasure, my brother.
Most definitely.
Appreciate you. It's been an honor always to be on these panels with you also. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Much love to
Everybody, chat. Darlene,
Big
I'm
Val
sorry.
once again.
I'll
Thank you for the
make it next
package.
time,
Appreciate
Darlene.
it.
Blessings to you, Darlene. Blessings to you.
Much love to you. Hope everything is right with you also. And enjoy the fight tonight also.
Yes, sir. All right. Peace. One love.
All right, y'all. Be blessed.